everyone, to episode 208 of the PJCS podcast. I'm your host, Caleb Peng. I'm finally back. I'm back at it. Joined by HurricaneKaz, PvP Steve, PvP Josh. No Twastell today because he's feeling a bit under weather. I mean, he was a bit under weather last week too, but he kind of pushed through, especially because, you know, his experience from NIC were definitely insightful. So, good to hear.
Yeah, he definitely needed to talk about like how crazy his run was.
Yeah.
That was imperative.
I don't think I mentioned this on the. No, I definitely didn't because it was before NAIC. But like, there was a couple of my teammates. Actually, the majority of my teammates were likely not going to qualify for Worlds. Who have in the past. The only two that were qualified before NAIC, possibly qualified, not even guaranteed. Deshaun for sure, like was locked in, but I believe he's judging at Worlds, so he's not actually competing. But he has actually a decent amount of points.
I was gonna say, I feel like he's been judging a lot lately.
Yeah. But he actually played in more tournaments than I thought he did. Actually, looking in hindsight, I was like, whoa, he actually have a lot more points than I thought. I mean, he did well in the ones he went to too. And then the only other person is me, who even I was on the cusp. I wasn't even sure I was going to qualify, but it's already publicly announced on the website, so I don't mind sharing it. But I am casting at Worlds this year, so I would not be playing. So I was just like, man, there's not going to be a single one of my teammates that make it to Worlds. Obviously, it's possible, right? Like Auburn needed a crazy high finish. I think he needed like, I don't know, at least like a top 8 finish, maybe more than that even, because he had like, literally no points to his name. He played like one regional and that's it. And he didn't do so well with it. And then Tristan needed like a top 16, which like yeah, I mean, no hate on Tristan, but he's never made a day 2 in his life. So he's about to play one of the biggest tournaments with some of the best players in the world at it.
And he was like, no problem, easy.
Well, he wasn't feeling great. I was always gonna be supportive, right? But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't know about the odds of that. Rockhaven played only one tournament. He got 9th in San Antonio, but that's it. So he needed like at least a top 32 finish or top 20 something. And then Berto as well, who, I mean, obviously fantastic player, but this season he's been a little rough too, right? Like he went to a couple of tournaments where he didn't get points as well, and then also didn't make a day 2 this season either.
But I thought Ramberto was like the closest prior to NAIC.
From out of my teammates that haven't already made the cutoff, yeah, that is correct. Yeah. But yeah, he was just kind of short. I think we talked a bit as well too on like the magic number amount of tournaments he had to have gone to. I think it was like if he went to like 4 or more, I think like everyone on the list of potential people were pretty much qualified except for Berto. He already went to 4, so that's why he's like, well, what about me? I was like, oh, yikes. I don't know if 5th time's a charm is the saying, but let's hope so. But anyway, somehow well, 3 of them made it, right? Yeah, Berto, Twastell, Rockhaven. Honestly, if you were to ask me, honest prediction, I would have said maybe 1 qualifies out of everyone. Shine Dialga and Auburn unfortunately missed out, but I think the lack of actual regionals to go to this season kind of affected a lot more people. 100%.
Because I know I didn't last year I went to Charlotte and Knoxville, and like I wanted to go to NAIC, but something came up and I couldn't. But this year, like I only went to Louisville, and that like when that happened, we didn't even know Atlanta was going to happen.
Oh, true. Yeah, they didn't even announce it yet.
Oh, yeah. So I had thought like, well, this is my one tournament, and then NAIC, like if I get to go this year, and then Atlanta did happen, fortunately, but still that was only 3 for me.
Did you drive to Kentucky? I'm sure I asked this in the past. But,
yeah.
Okay. It's not too far. I've driven there before from Atlanta too. It's not too bad. But.
Well, it's normally not too far, but then we had to leave a little later because I was actually not driving for that one myself. I was riding in someone else's car, and we had to wait until they like got off work in the afternoon. So we left at like literally the perfect time to hit traffic in Chattanooga, hit traffic in like Nashville, right? Like everywhere. Yeah. Oh, which that reminds me. Apparently, I need to issue a retraction
from the last episode because I heard you said something about him. And I was like, Ooh, I don't know if he's going to take this so kindly, but
apparently,
he listens.
unfortunately, I made a huge error.
You said he was like kind of introvert or quiet or something, right?
I said he was not social. Apparently, what I should have said was he's not on social media. That's like what I meant.
I mean, that does mean very different things, guys.
And I got so much sass for it. So, Jaraka, I'm so sorry.
Hey, shout out Jaraka for being a listener of the podcast, though.
Hey, well, first of all, don't give him too much credit because he only knew about it because Team Magma Tyler and Staffordshire like gave him.
Well, shout out to those two people then instead. But
shout out to those two. Listen, let me get through my whole statement, Caleb. Yeah. I wrote it. I typed out my retraction.
I feel like we're at like an apology, like press conference or something.
Dear Jaraka, I am so sorry that I mislabeled you as not social instead of not on social media. Then my bad, right? I'm sorry that I discovered that you are just social with everyone but me, apparently. Everyone but me, surrounded by so many great trainers, don't have time to talk to Kaz. Too busy getting your ass handed to you, as you said in our DMs. So I'm very sorry. Oh. No, he said that to me. He was like, well, I didn't say hi to you because I was facing Bird Power and Pocket, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, but like he didn't have a chance to talk to you during the battle, right? Like, what's going on?
He had a chance to talk to me around them, I think.
Well, okay. I mean, we had a press conference. I got a follow-up question, right? So question for Kaz. You've known Jaraka for a couple years. What compelled you to make such a grave error on social versus not being on social media?
Apparently, I'm just not as good of a friend to him as I thought, and for that, I sincerely apologize. I really hope to reconcile all my errors the next time we are so lucky to meet at a tournament. I'm so deeply sorry for my misjudgment.
I think there is this kind of like a two-way street, right? Because you can say he's not on social media or whatever and stuff like that, but podcasts aren't really on social media. It's just like a whole separate platform. Jaraka, why are you not a regular listener of the podcast?
Yeah, exactly.
One of your locals, one of your previous locals, and me, and then Stephen Twastell there.
You had to hear about it from someone else, and for that, you should apologize to me.
Well, all jokes aside, honestly, because I listened back to the episode, obviously, it's kind of nice though, right? It's my first time not being on the episode. Well, no, I did some shenanigans if you watch the YouTube version, but I didn't know what was going to happen, which is kind of interesting. So when you said the Jaraka thing, I was confused too, because I was like, hold on, that guy's like really social, at least from my experience. He's always like chatty, like him and Jangles. Jaraka's from Georgia and Jangles from Florida. They were arguing for like 30 minutes about where NAIC should be next year, right? And how like
apparently
this is my
own skill issue. But this is my own skill issue, and I'm sorry for presuming that our friendship was more than it was. Okay, next time I will try not to bother you so much, so I don't make any more errors in judgment. And I wish you all the best in making your team next time so that you actually learn how to use a Pokemon instead of just putting it on there because Dune did.
Wait, he copied Dune's team, you said?
No, he said he decided to use Araquanid at the last minute because he heard that Dune was bringing it. I mean, that is literally word for word in our DMs, so...
Would have been a smart.
All the best.
All the best. You make it seem like you're never talking to him again.
Your humble acquaintance, HurricaneKaz. That's the end of my Jaraka segment.
Meanwhile, you're about to carpool with him to Milwaukee next season. We'll talk about that.
No, that's too long of a drive. But
we'll talk about that in the Play Pokemon or Championship Series segment of this, because they did announce a couple regionals, which is kind of cool. Anyway, it was great to listen back on the podcast. Thank you for holding down last week.
Which also, I did watch the YouTube version, but I didn't catch what you did. Did I just was it fast? Like, did I miss it somehow?
So funny enough, I didn't hear the episode until after I published it, right? Because I just used the timestamp, so I listened to it after fact. But I already edited it into the YouTube thing before I heard you all mention it, and you're like, oh, I'm sure Caleb's going to, I think it was Steve that said it. It was like, I'm sure Caleb's going to do some type of shenanigans, so you can just like throw himself in for a quick second or something like that. when he's editing this back. And I was just laughing. I was just like, wait, that's exactly what I did. if you ever seen
Gotcha.
Fight Club, I do something similar to what they do in Fight Club.
Oh my god, it's been so long.
Yeah. Anyway, if anyone,
now I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
yeah,
Watch it back.
there's a couple. It's not just a one-time instance. A couple instances. So if you note it, let us know in the comments, because I don't
Yeah.
think most of you do. 'Cause,
Mine-
to be fair, I mean, some people do listen to podcasts on YouTube, but I don't think they're staring at the YouTube screen the entire time, right? For a podcast. I mean, I know I don't
No,
when I
it's
listen
true.
to podcasts.
I put it on
Mhm.
YouTube. Like that's how I listen to it. But I usually I'm playing it on our TV and I'm like working in the background, like on my tablet or something. So I'm not like really watching. So that's why I'm like, what did you do? I missed it.
Wait, so
And like, I mean, the majority of people just listen audio only as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, and for the record, Jen actually texted me. She's like, "What? No battle cats this week?" And I was like,
oh no,
"Listen."
well, that's mostly my fault, because it took me a second to edit it, and yeah, so
I'd also like to issue an apology to Jen. I'm really sorry that we didn't have an episode out on time for
but
you. We'll try to do
we
better.
didn't. We're not missing an episode. We just had the delayed one last week, and then hopefully a
True.
more timely one this week. Maybe I'll release it a little
Yes.
bit later in the week. Anyway, I'm recording this on what's today, Wednesday?
Yes.
So I guess it's going to be so late at this point. But okay. Anyway, tangents aside, let's get into the events. There's a bunch of ones to talk about. Let's skip the MLB one, because I just you could get an MLB hat or whatever.
It's the same as last time.
Yeah.
Get a hat.
Get some
Yeah.
stuff.
So
Get a costume.
let's talk about GoFest. So maybe I should release this episode sooner than later, because Global GoFest is this upcoming weekend. Global ticket holders get early access to event-themed 2-kilometer and 5-kilometer eggs. Honestly, looking at these 2-kilometer hatches, best thing's probably a Pawniard, maybe a Volby.
Whoa. I think,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong here, but this looks to me like the first time that you can get out of region flabébés out of 2-kilometer eggs.
That's true.
So they've got blue,
You-
orange, red, and yellow.
Did they
I think it's the
specify
first
that they
time.
can actually come from any eggs, or just
Yeah.
No.
Well, it
I
says
mean-
it says in 2-kilometer eggs. If you're lucky, you might hatch the following.
No, I know.
Blue,
So,
orange, red,
so
and
I will
yellow.
say they don't specify that you can hatch any of them from regards to region you're in, but usually when you can only hatch one of them, they say, "Oh, in your from your respective region." They didn't specify.
Yeah, there's
that.
no. Yeah,
And
there's
because it's
no
GoFest,
disclaimer.
This
so.
feels like it could be the special thing. So
Well,
I'm
okay.
gonna lean
What do you all
towards
think
Because the
Scopely
different-
will do here? You think it's they forgot to include that you can only catch one
Well-
from region, or you think it's actually like
Well, because
possible.
I think Steve is right, because in the like hourly spawns, like in the hourly biomes or whatever, they do have like a different flabébé in each one. So it's not like they're going to be region locked during GoFest.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's part of the event. So I think that because of that, and because they didn't specify that there is a specific region in the eggs, like in the ones that are available in eggs, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be random. So you might hatch one out of region, but it is less likely than all those other ones that are listed there.
Yeah. And then it's sort of the same boat in the 5-kilometer eggs, where like the actual regular sort of spawns aren't that exciting, and you can get Togepi, whoop-de-doo. But more importantly, I guess, is there's Torkoal, Pachirisu, Skiddo, and Klefki, all in 5-kilometer eggs. So you can do a little bit of regional grinding. Oh wait, this started days ago. What the heck? I've got to start doing eggs.
It started on Monday,
Aw,
technically,
heck.
as we said, we're recording on Wednesday. So yeah, Steve, 2 days behind.
We should have done this
three,
earlier.
actually, because you're ahead of us. Oh my
Yeah.
God, Steve, what are you doing?
What a
You're the
waste.
number one grinder in Australia. What are you
Oh.
doing?
The Pachirisu is
Didn't
definitely
realize.
something to aim for too. These could all be shiny. Pretty much, yeah. Everything on this hatch list can be shiny from 2-kilometer and 5-kilometer.
Except for the
Klefki.
Oh, except for
Klefki?
Klefki. Sorry, I missed that. Yeah, except for Klefki. Togepi, Torkoal,
wasn't
Pachirisu,
there.
Minfook, Skidoo, or Skiddo.
Is it Skidoo or Skiddo? I really
I think it's O because it's
yeah.
just a single
yeah,
O.
I think so too.
Skiddo.
Skiddo? I don't know. It sounds
Skiddo.
it sounds like Skittles, like the candy. Carbon, Gumi, Klefki, Jangmo, O, and Frigibax. So obviously the 5-kilometer eggs, a lot more like PvP viable things, but just things to hunt for in general, like Skiddo and like it's pretty new, right?
as another like aside, not a tangent, but an aside, wasn't there? And I don't know if this is like something that has been like corrected, but weren't some of these regionals also available as wild spawns like this week from your daily incense? I thought I saw something about that.
You could be right. Let's actually take a look at that because that is next on our agenda. But that's pretty much the hatch stuff. But the actual Go Ultra Unlock challenge and spawns, I think this might be related to what you're talking about. Maybe not. Yeah, habitat rotations and stuff. The global unlock, I think the unlock already happened, right? It was like they're easier to catch Reggies or something. I don't know. Reggie's like
premier balls are more effective.
Yeah, something like that. So we have ourselves event themed Pokemon throughout the rotating habitats, and shiny Carbink, shiny Frigibacks are in the wild. That's pretty nice. It's the first time for that. And the event themed Pokemon on Saturday. There's like shield themed Pokemon like Chansey, Skarmory, Larvitar, Shieldon, Shelmet, Volibee, Oranguru. All could be shiny, as well as Gumi. And then Sunday, Galarian Farfetch. Ooh, this could be a chance for Zimikid to get that, Shundo, so he doesn't have to use that bottle cap. But Cubone, Ralts. See, I told you I heard last episode. Carapace, Pawniard, Dino, and Passimian and Jingmo. All of these could be shiny as well. That's all on Sunday. So but there's also stuff with habitat rotations, I feel like that.
Yeah, I kind of assumed that would actually be in here.
Yeah, I think this is just the unlock stuff. So maybe we'll talk about it doesn't really. Yeah, we'll just talk about the habitat rotation on top of this too.
Oh wait, there's actually a link. There's like, learn more on the Pokemon Go Fest 2025 site. I clicked the link. 404 not found.
Classic.
Come on now. Interesting.
Oh, I think they've done an oopsie where like the link goes to PokemonGo.com/post/PokemonGo.live.com/GoFest.
Oh my god.
So what if we just take out the original part?
Scopely, what are you doing?
PokemonGo.com/GoFest is the correct link. Okay. Clearly no one has ever clicked this link.
Yeah. Okay. And then so worldwide, real quick too. I'm sure like at this point a lot of people know if they dove in themselves. But we get Klefki, Skidoo, obviously for ticket holders. Okay, so stuff in raids, just Pikachu, like Dapper Pikachu and stuff, as well as like a Dapper Phalanx. And then Crown.
I think the Phalanx is awesome for the record.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think
I had actually forgotten that it got a costume, and then I saw someone in my friends list like had a shiny one with that train costume, and I was like, what the heck? What is this? I literally typed into Google like Phalanx train costume ? Right. And it was like, it's at GoFest, you silly.
To answer our specific thing about the regionals, the Torkoal, Skiddo, Pachirisu, and Klefki are all on incense. So that's incense only for ticket holders.
Okay. And then to start off, we have the Moonless Habitat. You see it twice, 10 a.m. to 11 and then 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Moonless Volcano. Nothing really crazy here. Just like a bunch of fire Pokemon. Flabébé Red Flower, though, is the one that Flabébé and then Carbink is spawned during that. Rest of the stuff is kind of okay. Like Skrelp. Duskull could be okay, though, because people are running pretty low on Dusclops XLs after it became meta all of a sudden, which myself included. And then in the Galvanic Dojo Habitat, that's a hard one to say. Flabébé Yellow Flower. You got Pancham spawning. That's going to be really nice, though, for PvP IVs. The Dene and Mingfu is the shiny variant of that. And then Hypnotic Tundra. And so this is... Frigibax is the shiny, rare one you can encounter. Blue Flabébé is one here. Everything else is like kind of okay. Balloon Sandshrew maybe for the meta. And then maybe like a Piplup. Snover, Bergmite, I don't know, nothing too crazy PP wise, but and then the last habitat is Face Swamp. That one we got some fairies and poisons. Tentacool is probably a good one. Mawile, not bad. You need XLs for that one. Popular if you don't have a good one. Marini for Toxapex XLs. Morlo for extra dust, and you can encounter shiny Togetic or shiny Flabébé Orange. Wait. So why is that orange? Where's I thought there's 4.
Oh wait. Isn't orange just like a regular type of guy?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you can
Yeah,
get orange in
Orange,
any region.
orange and
That's
white
Orange-
are like not regional.
they're just
Yeah.
They're
rare.
all over, but they're just rarer than like the.
Are there
regional
only
color.
3 regional colors then? It's blue, red, and yellow.
Yes.
Okay. I thought
Yeah.
there was a 4th one for some reason, but yeah. So I guess the hardest
kinda
one to
thought
find
there
is
was
white.
4 too.
Huh?
I kind of thought there was 4 as well, but was it in Japan? Was it blue?
Yeah. Japan, like Asia has the blue
And
one,
Oceania as well.
Oceania, and then Europe,
Is
I think,
red.
has the
Yeah.
red one.
Europe and Africa.
Yeah. and
Yeah,
then
Europe and Africa have the red one, and
Western.
then North America, South America have
Yellow.
the yellow.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the only one that's not really spawning this event is white, which is also could be spawned anywhere, but just in rare rates. Day long
Mhm.
Pokemon counters. Oh, so this is what we talked about earlier, right? The shield stuff, and then the Sunday stuff, the more like sword type Pokemon like Land Farfetch and stuff. Incense encounters, Torkoal during Moonless Volcano, Galvanic Dojo is Skiddo, Hypnotic Tundra is Pachirisu, and then Face Swamp is Klefki. And a bunch of unknowns. DEHILS. D
On Saturday, it spells out shield.
Yeah, and then on
Sunday, it spells out
sword. Yeah,
sword.
yeah. So the letters are sword. Why wouldn't they? Why didn't they just spell it out that way? Why they have to, someone's like,
don't
let me be
know.
clever. I mean, they did it alphabetical, so it makes sense, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah, on the graphics, it like never really is immediately clear. I don't think like what
this is kind of a weird
is
one on the
happening.
graphic. Unknown W is the only one that can't be shiny. Why is that? The other ones could be shiny.
Oh,
though.
wait, you're right.
It's maybe
Maybe
a
like
typo.
all of the other ones have been like shiny released in the past, and no, because I can't surely they can
But
all be
during
shiny like in the
GoFest,
wild.
during GoFest, they
Yeah, but I
usually
thought
make them all shiny, you know?
I thought during GoFest, like all the unknowns, even oh goodness, that's a baby.
Especially a baby.
I thought during GoFest, all the ones that couldn't be shiny were always like released as shiny. I thought at this point we didn't have any unknown that we couldn't get as shiny, basically.
Well, here we are, I guess. There are a lot of different unknowns, but
28?
I even just mean like in this single event. I mean, like
Yeah.
just here alone, there's like 6, 7, 8, like 9 maybe, which is
Yeah.
big chunk.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, those are those things, and then for the actual event as well. Wait, is these rotating habitats on both Saturday and Sunday, or is it?
I think
I-
so.
Okay, because usually it's
It's
like
u-
Saturday is rotating and Sunday it's like all of them
Yeah.
at once, right?
That's what I thought.
We'll be rotating habitats during both days of the event.
That's fine though. I honestly
Ah.
don't hate that because when it's a Sunday, it's like kind of chaotic in my opinion. But
I don't know. I kind of like just being able to chill out a little bit more
yeah,
because you're not worried about like whenever you have the rotating habitats, you kind of try and focus on the one, like if you're a shiny hunter, you try and focus on the one where you kind of need the most shinies. So you try and plan your day around that. Or like if you're hunting for something PvP related specifically, like you have to try for a certain amount of time during certain hours. I always find it a little better, more relaxing to just be able to kind of like click on whatever on Sunday. But that's me. And especially it's so hot down here in Georgia. I was literally like talking to some of my locals today and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to come out on Saturday and
Oakland
Sunday.
Cemetery,
If it's, like,
man.
if it's like 1 billion degrees, there are no trees in that cemetery, Caleb. You know that.
you know how it goes, right? Most Georgians are just driving through the cemetery the entire time.
I know, right? The circle, just
I've
one
done it
circle.
to myself.
in-
I would do that. I remember it was during the COVID Go Fest. 2020.
Yeah.
I did that and just listened to Snooki's podcast. I'm pretty sure for like hours. It was a great time.
So I don't know what I'll be doing, but
Yeah.
I know that if it's like more than 90 degrees, I'm not going to be outside for long.
That being said,
I'm overwhelmed by the fact that Snooki has a podcast at all.
it's going strong. I think it's been going on for a number of years, more episodes than us.
I was going to say, really important aside question. Is it still going?
I think so. I mean, I think obviously our
It
listeners
looks like
want to know, right? So, it's
very
it's
important.
happening.
It's very
With Snooki
PvP
and
relevant.
Joey, which is her like
Yeah.
gay best friend.
Great.
Season 8, episode
Love this.
38.
Love this for
Yeah,
us.
they're supposed to episode 5 days ago. Wait, how many episodes did it have?
I don't know how many are in a season, but if we've got 38 episodes in this season alone, maybe it's like per year.
I don't know. I don't know
There's
how.
52
I never
episodes
really
per
understand seasons. I mean, honestly, if anyone's supposed to do seasons, it probably should be me because I have a new season every time I do co-host. So we're on season 4 right now. But yeah, I just don't really know much about actually doing seasons. Yeah, I wish you could see how many actual episodes they have. But
Oh no, this season last season they only had like 41. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Anyway,
tangents aside, so there's also global challenges at Ultra Unlock. During each habitat hour, they can work together. Trainers can work together to complete global challenges. So part 1, Hisui celebration. It's if you complete 15 hourly global challenges, they'll boost Hisui celebration, an event that will take place on July 8th to July 13th. So we don't even know exactly what all this is going to be, I feel like, right? Ultra Unlock Part 2, Steel and Scales. Complete 30 global challenges. They'll boost the Steel and Scales event. Take place the 22nd of July to 27th. And then Origin Raid Day, you do 45. They'll boost Origin Raid Day event that'll take place on August 10th. Origin Raid Day seems like I kind of know where they're going with this, right? Dialga, Palkia, Giratina Origin, maybe spawning.
I think we have some ideas.
I mean, those are a lot of people who have been clamoring for that for a while, and just getting the elite TM, like being able to elite TM stuff. Because I know
And
some people have
also-
windows that they can't use with the special moves.
Yeah.
Guilty.
So
Oh, you do? You have a hundo that has a move?
yeah, I've got a hundo Palkia without the move. It's like, what's the point?
Well, you can surprise people with
that's-
Hydro Pump,
Yeah,
right?
I saw that.
Hydro Pump,
Dom
Aqua
split.
Tail. You have enough dragon damage
Yes.
for Dragon Breath, right? What you worry about? Dude, you know how many Dialgas are going to shield potential Aqua Tails?
I could also pose some guesses for the Hisui celebration. Hisui spawns?
Well, I
That
mean,
might be
I think if we're on that train, I think the Steel and Scales one, probably some dragons and steel types, right?
I think you guys are really reaching for this one. I don't know. We
Seems
better
like
just wait
a
for
stretch.
Yeah.
Wait for
What?
the
No
details.
bets? No bets? We don't want to place any bets?
Oh, Kaz wants to make some bets after her recent loss.
I do not.
She's like, I need some redemption.
I do not. I'm already dreading
Yeah.
having to delete so many.
Yeah, you
precious
still have the
little
Slowpoke suit, right, Steve?
Yeah, I've got it. I've
Okay,
got it.
bring it to Worlds. We'll do a little. Maybe we'll do another little bet or pass-through thing. I don't know what to do on that front, but maybe we could come up with something. Like, I don't think either of you are opposed to wearing it. Okay, here's the thing, right?
It will be warm.
Someone from production,
right? It'll keep me
Someone
warm.
from production actually asked me if it's like Pokemon official, right? On the chance that like you might be on stream because they saw you in it. I was like, oh, 100% it is. So obviously you unfortunately didn't get to play on stream, but I don't know. There's two of you competing at Worlds. There's a good chance that one of you might make it on stream. I'm just saying.
Let's really if we want that to happen, let's try and make it so that Tristan loses. Well,
I think part of it has to be on you, right? You have to make sure you beat him and don't lose him in the bet too. Should it just be a bet between you two? Because that could be kind of
Play
fun.
Pokemon. If you're listening, start making brackets now where we have Josh and Tristan in the same one, and they have to battle each other. On
preferably
stream.
like the group.
You know what'd be funny? What if we do like a little fun like exhibition match before like Worlds, where like you use like a potential Worlds team, it doesn't have to be your team, but both of you play both me and Kaz in two like 5-game series. So you'll play me 5 times and you play Kaz 5 times. Tristan will do the same thing, and whoever accumulated the most amount of wins, the other person has to wear the onesie at Worlds.
I have a terrible feeling that one of us is at a disadvantage.
Wait, what? What's the disadvantage?
He's the top 6 NAIC.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is, well, we all said it right before that weekend, before that day even happened. I mean, like, I don't even think Tristan believed he would have been a top 6 finisher. Right?
He literally said those words on the podcast himself. Last time he was like, "I."
It's like one of those things where, like, even if you're a big supporter of Tristan, right, or of anyone that ends up surprising, expectations, you might hope that he does that well, but you don't necessarily think that he will, right? So, and then he did it, right? It was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We can talk about it when Tristan comes back too and see. But I think that could be a fun challenge because like it's kind of wasted on me and Kaz. There's no way I'm allowed to wear that while I'm casting. I'll wear like after I cast. It's like who's going to be there like at this pizza place at dinner, right? And then like I mean, Kaz wearing it could be good though because she'll be in the audience.
I'll be running around.
But I think it's funnier if it happens on stream, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
We'll take a look.
Well, we did have that kind of at NAIC, like they had sort of pre-recorded segments, including many like battle matchups, to kind of play during break times or whatever. So
there was
it has potential.
There was a recorded segment with Butters that did have the Slowpoke onesie in it, but it never saw the light of day.
What was
that's true.
The segment, out of curiosity, if you're allowed to share?
Oh, it was actually great. I'm actually really sad that it did not.
Yeah, I probably won't get aired in the future either because it's recorded at NAIC, so it's kind of like too tournament specific.
I would.
Yeah. So we do it a second time, Butters.
Like the segment itself was very non-specific. Like it was very non-NRIC specific. Like it would be very easy to play at like the next regional. But I don't know. Maybe it comes out. Maybe it doesn't.
Yeah. We'll see. We don't want to spoil it just in case it does be used. Yeah. It does end up getting used. Yeah.
We'll see.
It did involve battles, but it also involved plushies.
Oh, you know what'd be funny?
And the onesie.
You know what we should do?
Onesie.
We could just play instead of show 6, right? For like practice or world thing. We could do the same idea where you two battle me and Kaz, but the stipulation, and this is I think a more evening the playing field, is that everyone has to use a Slowpoke or Slowpoke evolution in their battles. So like you can use a Galarian version, right? So there's 5 total options, right? I mean, I don't know if we had all end up just running the same stuff or not, but and you play like GBL style. Maybe we'll each play each other like everyone like 3 times or something, and then if there's a tie, then you two have to face off against each other.
I don't mind.
This could be kind of fun.
We'll talk with
I actually like that idea, including the Slowpoke. I think that
who cares if Tristan's good at this Credilli Dusclops Mandibuzz meta, right? What are you gonna do with the Galarian Slowking's the real question. Okay.
True.
We can make some funny content out of this too. All right, we'll see how it goes. All right. That being said, let's talk about the next event because we're tangenting out of control right now. Celebrate 9 years of Pokemon Go. 9th anniversary party. Dude, this is the longest game I've ever played consistently.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy, but I remember playing this.
I don't know. Wingspan is a close second for me.
Wingspan? What is that again?
Yeah. It's like a bird board game. Come on.
I mean, come on. This is not like Monopoly.
If anyone is friends, if anyone is friends,
Caleb,
if anyone is friends with me,
never heard of this except for like talking to Kaz.
Yeah, exactly. I will tell everyone about it. It's like if anyone is friends with me on the Switch, you can like see how long people have played certain games.
Oh, I thought it was a board game. It's a game on the Switch.
Well, it is a physical board game, but they made a version for the Switch.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because Switch has not been out for 9 years, but
no.
But that's kind of crazy.
But it's got my most played hours out of any game.
Interesting. What is the so it's on, they made a version for the Switch as well.
Yeah, it's cross-platform. You can play on your phone. You can play on the Switch. You can play on Steam. It's amazing.
I'm looking at pictures of this game. You all have to Google it. Wingspan. If I saw this, this is like the most perfect game for Kaz I've ever seen. Even the dice have a bunch of like things that birds eat, like fish and mice and caterpillars.
That's the bird feeder. That's how you feed your birds.
What's the? Give us a brief rundown. What's the purpose of this game?
Okay. It's basically like it's like a deck building game. Well, not really a deck. It's like a board. Like you are in control of your own board, and you're basically just trying to build. Yeah, you're trying to build out your own board with like a diversity of birds, and you are basically like you're playing with other people, but there's very little you can like do to affect other players. So it's a very like you're focused on just trying to get as many points as you can through all the various game mechanics to beat everyone else. Okay. But the main goal is just to like collect as many like birds as possible, and they will do things for you to get your points at the end of the game. It started with like the North America birds version, but now it has expansions for Europe and Oceania and Asia.
Is there expansion you don't own?
No.
Do you have the dragons
question.
variants? They made a dragon.
I actually do, because fun story. Like the first cup challenge combo that I went to at the beginning of last season, here in Atlanta, I actually won, and so I got a bunch of part of the prize package was like store credit at the store we were playing at, Level Up Games. Shout out, you guys are amazing. And I got $50 in store credit. I was like, I don't really play a lot of board games, and I already have all the Wingspan expansions. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? But so I was wandering around and I saw the dragon version. I was like, immediate purchase.
Well,
and the dragon version is very cute. It's very similar in theme, but very different play style. So I highly recommend that one too. It's called Wormspan, and it's
I know obviously you're biased because you like birds and stuff too, right? But looking at this board game, my final question on it is about what % of it is because you love birds, and what % of it is because you love the game, and it could just be a game of like mice.
Oh no, it's like 100,
and it's still fun.
It's like 100%. It's 100% because I love birds.
Oh, but the gameplay like, you enjoy too, or
okay. Yeah, no, it's fun for me. I think I might have mentioned it to you before, but like me and Jen and like her sister and some of our other friends, we are so intense in our play of Wingspan. We actually made a document tracking all of our scores and time playing and wins.
She made She made an in-house rank system for Wingspan. Essentially,
so that she can be number one, surely.
Yeah.
It was actually, I think Jen had most wins, but I think I had like most points per win or something like that. Jen is very good at all board games, like so good. Like every time she travels with a lot of board games, and we always try and play like a big diversity of games whenever she comes along, and she's just so good. I cannot compete with that, Jen. You are the master.
I'm still sad I didn't get to meet her at NAIC. I was like,
I know,
really my time, but
I wanted her to try and come,
go to Atlanta,
but
man.
she was at Atlanta. But unfortunately, she was like, "Oh, my fellows are graduating that weekend, so I can't really skip it." I was like, "Rude fellows having their graduation."
Yep,
that is fair.
On NAIC weekend, come on.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. This tournaments next year that she could go to. That maybe.
Oh, she had such a good time at Atlanta. I am absolutely sure she's going to try and go to at least one with me.
Yeah, that's I tell a lot of people that have only been to regionals. It's definitely fun, but like once you go to IC or Worlds, it's like a whole different ball game. Like it's so much more decked out. There's usually Pokemon centers at them, and then it's it's even.
I did actually call her during my Pokemon Center appointment, and I was like rapid fire sending her photos, like, tell me what to buy for you. And I'm sure I'll be doing the same thing at Worlds, but
yeah.
But it was very fun. It was very, very fun. And yes, I look forward to sharing that experience again next season.
Yeah, that'll be good. All right. Anyway, so regarding the 9th anniversary party, we really tangent off the longest game here. July 1st to July 6th, only 5 days, but new costume Pokemon will be appearing. Ivysaur, Venusaur, wearing a party hat, and then Gimmighoul holding a 9th anniversary coin. Now, you can see the 9 on its back on that coin, I guess.
So small.
When I was looking at it on my phone, I honestly was like, how is this different? Like, how is this a 9th anniversary coin? But I can see it a little better looking at it on the computer.
I wonder if you could evolve Bulbasaur with hats from before.
Yeah, because I was gonna say this is the same party hat that I think Bulbasaur is already wearing.
But you can't evolve him now, can you?
No, you can get Bulbasaur in this event. It's just that they're debuting the big one, so you can evolve it through.
Yeah.
It's just like a Charmander, right? You can do the same thing.
Yeah, I have
which maybe that was like the last anniversary, actually.
To evolve from before. I wonder if that's possible. All right, so my guess is next year it'll be Blastoise or Charizard, and the year after that it'll be the other one that you can evolve.
But actually you can already evolve Blastoise and Charizard with
you
hats.
I think I think we
Yeah.
might have already had those the last 2 years, and we just haven't
we
really
just never
paid that
had
much
the
attention.
other one.
Yeah, actually,
Oh, you're right.
It's actually Venusaur, the only one that doesn't. You can't
you're
evolve
really right.
wearing the
Oh,
hat.
that's weird. Okay.
That's Pokedex
Yeah.
order, right? Like Bulbasaur is like number 7.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This is the
No.
first time they're doing it. But I
No, I mean,
honestly, I probably
yeah,
even said it in the
Bulbasaur's
past
number
past
one.
episodes,
Oh.
but I just forgot at this point.
Yeah, other way.
Okay, so
Anyway,
Gimmighoul also can be shiny, so it's making a shiny debut. Event bonuses: increased chance of becoming lucky friends, increased chance to get lucky Pokemon in trades. Pokemon stops may turn gold without golden lure module, which you get the Gimmighoul coins for, which allows you to evolve a Gimmighoul into a golden go. So big reason for that. And also golden stops just drop more items, I think. Increased chance to encounter shiny Pichu wearing a K Cat, shiny Eevee wearing a party hat from raids. Seems like only raids only. Gimmighoul holding 9th anniversary coin with a 9th anniversary themed special background. Friendship levels increase faster than normal through opening gifts, trading Pokemon, or battling together in raids, gyms, or train battles. Just essentially just increase from all
Everything.
types of friendship interactions. Chance of fighting 9 or 99 or maybe more Gimmighoul coins when you spin a Pokestop with the golden lure. That's kind of wild. 99 is a lot.
more.
That'd be great because I still do not have enough coins to evolve the single Gimmighoul that I do.
Do you have Scarlet or Violet on the Switch?
I do.
You just don't do it.
But
Okay.
I don't remember to do it all the time because it works like Meltan, right? Like you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
do a.
I think the
box,
catch rate
like,
is
okay.
like almost guaranteed if you have the Go Plus on. Because usually what I used to do, I gotten really lazy about it lately, is I would just give myself a Gimmighoul bag before I go to the airport for like events, and then I'll just like throw it on while I'm in like the Uber and just like fall asleep in the car because usually my flights are super early. And when I land at airport, I check my inventory and it's like I usually have like 30 or so Gimmighoul. Like I think like I don't think they either have a really low flea rate or the Go Plus. Yeah, I have a regular Plus, not Go Plus Plus, so like it's not even throwing anything but Pokeballs at it, and it's still working.
Have you tried the same thing like with a Meltan box?
That's a good question. I don't really know because Meltan boxes they could spawn even when you're not moving. So usually when I don't really grind those much anymore, but when I did, I would just like be at home, just like watching TV and just catching one like every couple seconds. So I don't actually know. My guess is maybe.
Well, I'm wondering if they have the same mechanic because they are. I mean, it is a special circumstance. It would kind of make sense if they did have like I don't recall a Meltan ever like running from me.
I've definitely had.
I think I've had Meltan run, but there's always a chance that these kind of things where like they could run when you're regular catching it, but when you're using Go Plus, they don't run. I don't know. Anyway, someone else can correct me if I'm wrong, but I just noticed like surprisingly amount of Gimmighoul that I catch even when I'm in like the car with a Go Plus. But anyway, during the 9th anniversary party, you may discover party hats in the wild. Tapping on them will award items or encounters with event themed Pokemon. So kind of like the Applin apples in a way. Also, first time Pokemon Go, you encounter shiny Gimmighoul, like I said. Okay, so here's some specific bonuses on certain days. The 1st to the 3rd, you get 1/2 egg hatch distance when eggs are placed in incubators on those days. The 3rd to the 5th, 2 times XP for catching Pokemon. 5th to the 6th, 2 times star just for catching Pokemon. And yeah, I mean, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle all appearing more often with party hats in the wild. Dude, I still need a Hundo Squirtle. That's like one of the Hundos I do not have, and it's been out since like day 1. 9 years.
I don't have a single Hundo of any of the starters.
Really?
There was a what was that event? The wild area.
Yeah.
There was like one of those the mighty Venusaurs that was a Hundo that someone reported in the park I was in, but it ran. But it ran from me, yeah. So I was devastated.
That event was kind of cool
I've actually
too because they were all like super big and they all had like really high IV spreads.
I got 2 other Hundos of mighty Pokemon. I got a Luxray and I think an Electivire that I caught was like a Hundo. And what's the Dragalge? Yeah, so I got 3 other like mighty Hundos. But
she got a lot.
That Venusaur denied me.
They're just waiting for you to get the Hundo with the party hat. Yeah.
On the 9th anniversary, please.
I think Venusaur was my first Hundo, maybe because Bulbasaur was my first Hundo because
you could probably
it
check.
was back in when PvP dropped. it was the thing where, you know, a lot of us didn't have like Blast Burn Charizard under 1500 or that sort of thing. But the only reason I had a Frenzy Plant Venusaur was
you
because I
bought the
evolved
hundo?
my hundo
Yeah.
that happened to be small enough.
Yeah.
So I ran that hundo into the ground.
You still use it?
I have like
Yeah,
a
it's still my
98.
Venusaur, to be fair.
Oh my god, nice. I have like a 98, multiple 98s of all of them, you know, but like just missing one.
Well, I don't
Stats
know if
thing.
you recall, Kaz, but for $20, you can upgrade and get your first hundo.
What? Who?
For the price
Why
of
would no one
$20
tell me
for
this? For the
$19.99.
low price.
I actually don't know if it's $19.99 or 20 flat, but
It's $19.99.
dude, that's such a like. I feel like that's just a marketing trick that they've been using for like a couple of decades that they just never moved away from. Like the lack of that 1 cent is obviously to make it seem like it's cheaper than it is. You know, like 19 looks better than 20, but like, who's really falling for that?
I just
anymore?
don't.
Like it.
But
I don't
apparently
really-
psychologically it works.
It's still
like apparently
it
it
still
Yeah.
works, really. I know psychologically
Yeah.
clickbait works, or not even psychologically,
Yeah.
but clickbait in general. Even though pretty much universally everyone hates clickbait, it works every
It
time
works.
because it forces it
Yep.
still gets people to click on the video, and by the time you click on it, it's too
Because
late.
this could be the one time. This could be the one time that it's not.
yeah,
clickbait.
exactly. And I mean, because well, also like you're not
What?
going to click on the videos that have terrible titles and thumbnails because they're just like, well, you know, whatever,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, no, in my mind, like I don't even see the 1999 anymore. It's like it's 20. Like it's just that's my brain. It just reads it everything as like an I always just round things up. I'm like, who cares? Just
yeah. Okay. Anyway, there's other stuff ticket as well you could buy, and so Wish granted
Of course,
ticket
of
as
course.
well, where well,
Oh, it's Masterwork,
Masterwork
Research.
You guess shiny Jirachi. But this is something we had before, right?
Yeah, it says trainers who have already obtained the Masterwork Research story wish granted will not be able to purchase it again.
Yeah.
So it's just an opportunity for people who did not get the shiny Jirachi research in a previous iteration
Yeah.
can get it this
Makes
time.
sense.
Which I feel like
Interesting.
I don't have it.
Dude, this
I don't know.
this party hat picture below is hilarious. The I don't know. It looks like a grown adult at a kid's birthday party.
Yeah.
It's just
No,
a funny
it's just
picture,
like
but-
it's just so cartoonishly like
Yeah.
a hat that doesn't
Check
fit.
it out on PokemonGo.com under the 9th anniversary post if you're curious. And then there's like a Power Rangers
Oh,
thing
wait.
too. What is this? The wristband? What? This
Yeah.
actually looks like Power Rangers. Like if you look at the actual
it
watch, it looks
is-
like the Power Rangers like face.
It very much looks like
Dude,
Power
this
Rangers.
is like a lawsuit waiting to happen. I mean, hope not, but like
I think
you
they've
got Red Ranger,
stolen
blue,
the photo
yellow.
that we took with the friendship bracelets at NAIC.
Yeah,
So-
definitely that. Definitely that. From Rocket Clear's
Yeah.
daughter, right? That made the friendship voices. I think I saw
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yes. Oh my god, it was so cute.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. And the moment you thought you might have lost it, like you
Oh.
were so devastated. You were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no.
wait. Nah, but it was all
Wait.
good. We've got it.
But you did find it. You did find it. I was relieved
Phew.
for you.
Close one.
All right. My cat's peeping behind my chair. If you can see her right here, she doesn't like me hell, but she also doesn't like me.
I know she's
some fun,
lurking back there, giving you a little death stare.
We'll talk about the July stuff next time because we're still a little bit ways away from it. We're not going to do a community prediction though because Quaxley's already been announced, but we'll talk about that next time. Okay, let's talk about the championship series because there's a lot to unpack here. Should we talk about the location source before PJCS? Let's do that first because
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
because and then we'll talk about the other stuff. So they announced locations of upcoming regionals and internationals technically for next year. So for the ICs, they're at literally the exact same places as they were before. So Sao Paulo, same months too. I think November, NIC June, and then EIC February. I know EIC was pushed up a bit this year compared to last year, so it's the same time as this year, I guess. They made some other stuff related to TCG stuff and VGC, I think, but it doesn't really change our stuff too much.
And Unite.
Yeah. Oh, Unite is pretty big.
The Oceania Unite season might actually be dead, but anyway.
It's because of the league stuff, and there's not going to be a league for
Oceania. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be they're essentially, to my understanding, it looks like they're following a similar format that League of Legends does, which
Was kill OCE.
they technically did do that. So all the OCE players play in like the good ones play in like North America usually because it doesn't count as out of region, so this counts like an import, I guess, because they have import rules too.
Oh,
Otherwise,
man.
like every team would be like mostly Korean and Chinese players. But anyway, well, that's a whole different discussion point. If you were curious,
Yeah.
I have plenty of thoughts on the league changes for Unite. But okay, Pokemon Go travel award and travel stipend updates. This is kind of big for our player base. Go competitors will
Yeah.
have more opportunities to earn travel stipend. So a number of travel awards has doubled from 4 to 8, with competitors ranking from 5th to 8th being on being able to earn a $1,000 travel stipend. So not as much as the full travel award from like 1st to 4th, but you still get $1,000 for 5th through 8th, which is still pretty solid, right?
That's pretty great.
Yeah, so it's good way to get more people potentially affording trips to go to these international tournaments, and we always want to see good players go to those as well too, right, for maximum hype. And then the Ace Trainer Awards program is kind of weird. So something with like top placing teams earn an Ace Trainer. What is that?
It's just the same as, so they introduced it this season pretty late in the piece. You might remember at the very start of the season, they were like, oh, there'll be other rewards for like players earning championship points other than the world championships announced later this season. And then months and months and months and months went past. They didn't announce anything. Everyone was like, okay, this isn't happening.
Yeah.
Like, it's the end of the season. Nothing's going on. And then they came out with the Ace Trainer Awards, where in Pokemon Go, if you hit 200 championship points, they'll send you a promo card, basically.
Did we get it this year?
Yeah.
I don't think I got anything. Though.
We haven't got it yet.
Oh shoot!
Like,
I need to change my address.
Waiting for the season to finish.
So I need to change to make sure it doesn't go to my old address. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Hopefully it's not too late.
Yeah, hopefully not. I mean, I did forward my address over, so hopefully that helps too. But
someone just gets a random Pokemon card
just
in
like
the mail,
my
and
Doritos too from Twitch Rivals. Okay, so the season calendar is out as well. So let's take a look at that real quick. Obviously there's World Championships in Anaheim. All right, so the first one is first two, I guess, is the same weekend. We got Frankfurt in Frankfurt, Germany regional, as well as Monterey on the 13th to the 14th. And then Pittsburgh is on the 19th to the 21st. That's a weird one because it's 3 days instead of 2.
Yeah, it's a typo.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because like I'm pretty sure that it got corrected in like other places.
Okay.
That's what I had seen online. Because there's no way that they would start like people battling like for a regular regional like on a Friday.
So
too many people would have to ask off work. And it would like
okay. So here's my confusion though. Every NA tournament is listed as 3 days, but all the other regionals are 2 days.
Yeah.
That's why like it's really strange. Maybe they just like are including days where they have side events and you can check
but they have side events in Europe, no?
That is my thought, because like I know in Oceania, like for the first time in the very last one, they actually tested out like running side events through the Friday, and it was like successful.
Wait, you've been to a European regional, right? Did they not have anything on Friday at all? Like no side events, no like cups, no challenges or anything? Oh, so nothing. Nope. The venue's not even open on Friday.
Well, it's like Rego.
That's it. You can't go in and do like any. Yeah. Oh, okay. That would make sense then. I didn't realize that. I've never been to a European regional before, right? So obviously ICs are different, but.
And I know that we're not there yet, but I mean, the other indication that something is wrong is because like NAIC is only listed as 2 days.
Oh, what?
Wait, what? Oh, that's no. It's listed as 3 days.
No,
June
it says
12th
3.
to the 14th.
Oh, does it? Okay. Yeah. See, I don't know. Things have been edited and changed from when they first.
I wonder if you're. I think the side events and all that stuff is correct. That would make a lot of sense. Yeah. Because those are if they don't have that stuff for non-NA regionals, right? Then that would make a lot of sense. Okay. Anyway, so Monterey and Frankfurt, they'll be the first regionals of the year, September 13th to the 14th. We have Pittsburgh. Is the 19th to the 21st, first NA tournament. Oh, I guess technically Monterey's in NA as well, but not in the NA region for points wise. And then October 10th to the 12th, Milwaukee. And then we have Brazil, Belo Horizonte I'm 100% pronouncing that wrong. And that's
I
the
mean-
11th to 12th. So that'll be the same weekends. Milwaukee, Lille, France, 25th to 26th. Gdansk, Poland, the 1st and 2nd of November. Vegas, 14th to 16th. We're trying to go to Vegas? I'm going. There's no way I'm not going. No, I'm not actually a gambler or anything by any means. I actually don't care for anything for that, but it's pretty close to me, so I could drive to it pretty easily.
Is that the weekend before LAIC?
Yeah.
14th,
No, wait.
16th.
Where is LAIC?
No. LAIC is later.
Wait, LAIC
Isn't
is
it?
not on
Oh,
this list. for some
no,
reason.
it's the next weekend. It's the next weekend.
Wait,
What?
why? Yeah, why is LAIC not on this list though? But
Oh,
NAIC
yeah. So
is.
for some reason, LAIC got nuked off this page entirely. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
was
I'm
just
looking at it.
saying, like,
USC and
wait.
NAIC are both here. Okay, so LAIC is the very next weekend.
Unless like the fact that it's been nuked off this website means that like it's changing or
I
something.
mean, I don't think
as
that's
far as
Yeah,
it's going
because
to be.
originally-
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause also
originally it
there's,
was announced as the 21st and 23rd of November.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
weird.
it should be the next weekend. But they've also got a Buenos Aires Special Championship this same weekend as Vegas, which is, I guess, the more local tournament before LAIC
Yeah.
that people might attend.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we got Stuttgart the 29th and 30th. Obviously, LAC before that. Mérida, Mexico, 25th and 24th, 25th of January. Birmingham, UK, same exact weekend as Mérida. Auckland, New Zealand. That's a new location, at least in our time in the circuit. I don't know prior to that. 24th to 25th.
Mhm.
Oh, also, actually, yeah, that's 3 tournaments in the same weekend. That's kind of crazy. Because the same as
Yeah.
Birmingham and Mérida. And then
I really hope that doesn't cause any problems.
what do you mean
Why
from
would
like
it
a
cause any
broadcast
problems?
perspective or like a game perspective?
Yeah, like from a gameplay, perspective.
Yeah. Well,
Well, no one's playing at the same time.
there's
It's
that,
very,
and also like I guess like if you think about the total amount of players playing in a regional is way less than like GBL, right? So I feel like
Yeah,
you're more likely to have issues during like a go battle day or weekend.
it's
but-
true.
But I mean, I guess if the whole game's like kind of down or not functioning as well, then yeah, that's not great. Santiago, Chile, February 7th to the 8th. EYC, 13th to the 15th of February. And then we got Spain, the 28th to 29th.
Of March, like that's over a month
Yeah,
gap.
yeah.
This is where we hit the point where like they haven't announced.
They
a lot
have
of
probably,
events.
yeah, because I don't think they've announced any of NA stuff and starting like next calendar year.
Mhm.
Querétaro, Mexico, 4th and 5th of April. We got Utrecht, Netherlands. There probably is something in April, if I were to guess, for EU as well, because there's a gap there. That'll be on May 16th to 17th. Lima, Peru, 23rd to 24th of May, and then NAIC. So decent schedule, but I think we're definitely missing some.
Yeah,
There's
wait,
a lot missing from
where were the
NA, I
Australian
think.
ones?
I mean,
I
that's
didn't-
never announced like timely. I feel like. Yeah, so NA only has 3 announced so far. Europe has 7 regionals announced plus UIC. Obviously, the 3 in NA is not including NAIC. LATAM has 7 as well, and Oceania has 1.
There's as many events announced in Mexico alone as there are in NA.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's I'm happy for the LATAM players because I remember in the earlier seasons there weren't a lot, and starting this season it's a big improvement, which is
Yeah.
I don't know how
Yeah,
much
I
of Sono
think-
Roman being hired as a TPCI employee helped in that, but shout out to him because I feel like he might have a hand in expanding that, which is nice.
it definitely feels like they just have not announced anything for the second half of NA season, except for NAIC. There are some gaps in like the EU schedule, like you
Mhm.
mentioned, but for the most part, it does seem like they were trying very hard to announce international ones earlier, which is nice. Which is nice for those that want to travel.
Yeah. So that's going to be the schedule. Start marking your calendars, I guess, for those that want to go. I feel like the Vegas one could actually get a lot of people. I mean, it's just like a nice destination.
A lot of people
city.
online
Yeah.
seem to be excited about.
It's
Vegas
pretty.
very
I
much.
think it's pretty convenient for a lot of people on the West Coast, especially the Southwest Coast, because it's pretty
Mhm.
drivable to it. So that's a lot of people in general. But we'll see. I know there was some speculations of other locations based on like the trailer, the lights and stuff.
Oh yeah, because they released the
Yeah.
trailer and there were these highlighted points that like grew out into colors or whatever.
One of them looked like
and
it was like in Orlando, Florida, but we don't know for sure, right? I'm just speculation. But but I remember someone, I think it was Berto, was like, I think it might be Daytona Beach instead. I was like, come on now. Like, I think the light was just a little bit off. I don't think it meant like because it's just a little bit right of where Orlando is actually on the map, they're going to go to Daytona Beach. Like, they're probably going to go with Orlando, which is they've used at least twice in the past 4 years, as a location. And they already have probably some established rapport there.
I was one of those crazy people that was kind of like looking at it side by side with a map. Like,
I don't think that makes you crazy. I think most people are doing something like that. Doesn't look like Atlanta's coming back though.
It does not, according to so
let's hope those rumors preview. Are not true or speculation.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Some of the places that my guess would be, it looked like one was maybe Indianapolis, and then
that makes sense.
Seattle. It looked like one.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just bring back Portland instead, though. But Seattle's
and then like Montreal. It kind of looked like
Montreal's an interesting one. You don't think they're just going to go back to Vancouver and Toronto again? Were they on the map, the blip, or because we don't have any Canadian tournaments?
I don't know. It could. I mean, I guess Vancouver's right next door to Seattle, so maybe that was like that was.
Oh, it was like Vancouver.
What I was seeing there, yeah, maybe it was Vancouver instead. But yeah, it's like. It's a lot to kind of try and pull away from like a 5-second visual.
Well, it's much longer than 5 seconds if you take a screenshot and look at it for a few hours.
It's true. Anything is possible. Anything is possible with screenshots.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that being said, let's take a look at. Oh wait, there's one other thing. This is actually a pretty big one too. One other thing to note is that for the championship series invites for Pokemon Go, so US and Canada, NA region essentially minus Mexico, is still 75, top 75, obviously minus guaranteed invites and stuff. Europe has been increased from 50 to 65. Latin America and what?
They both
yeah. Latin America as well, right? It went also from 50 to 65. And that's about it because Oceania is still 10, right? Middle East and South Africa, though, this is one you should pay attention to, Steve. Our fellow South African, 5, which is still the same as
true. All you gotta do is just change your citizenship. Easy.
Dude, with how much she travels, dude, you might have permanent residence soon.
I was actually telling people I actually have a work trip to South Africa next year around the times that the tournaments have been this year. And so I'm just eyeing it up. Wait, like if they pick the right weekend.
How often are you taking work trips to South Africa out of curiosity? Because I think you've been there before too, right? Like for work.
Yeah. Not that often, to be honest with you. Okay. Like, maybe minimum once every 2 years.
Sure. But now it's minimum a couple times a year.
Happens to be a very convenient spot. So if it's the weekend before or the weekend after, I'm so keen.
Well, I guess you'll have to see how much pull you actually have.
Yeah.
Like they tell you that it's going to be one weekend and you're like, ooh, maybe if we did it this other weekend. Yeah. And they're just throwing a bunch of buzzwords like synergy and
Look, if it's too far out, then too bad, so sad. But if it's close, I wasn't intending to go, but I might have to make the trip. Yeah, we'll see.
South African Steve returns. That's the true alter ego. South African Steve, Australian Josh. You just create two separate personas.
I don't know. I heard this Josh guy is the one that qualified for Worlds. So.
Yeah, people in South Africa might not know about your real name is Josh. So. Especially since a lot of the players you played there are not even South African. At least
you're certainly not
the second tournament.
You're certainly not the only one.
Yeah. So that's another big one too, which I think is good. Like we were kind of in the past episode, we're trying to justify why NA might have 75 over like EU having, and I think like we looked at the total player list from NA's like technically more unique players, but how often do they actually fully compete is a different story. And honestly, I think top 65 from EU can easily round out and bring in 10 additional really or 15 additional really strong players. Same for LATAM too. Oceania, you know, you guys are good. You guys are good, I think. Honestly, it depends on how long Jins is going to keep playing in Oceania.
Dude.
But I told him, I was like, dude, it's
Seriously.
easier to qualify in NA than Oceania, even because he almost
man.
didn't make the qualification.
Yeah, he was like, if he didn't get points at NAIC, which he barely did, like he would have dropped out to like bottom place.
But
like,
he still would have made it, right?
He still would have made it. Still would have made it. But he would have been literally.
Things were not looking good for him
on,
at
like,
first. I remember talking to him. I was like, dude, I was following your bracket run. I saw you drop round 1 again. I was like, don't make this another 0-2 like Portland, and he did not.
Yeah. Well, it's like even if you look at like where the bar is for like qualifying forwards on championship points, like in North America with 75 invites and like the auto qualifications and whatnot, it was 520 CP for North America. I'm just using JJN's data as well. Like for Europe, it was 665, which sort of makes sense why you would sort of bring that down a little bit. For LATAM, it was 502, so they bring that down as well. For Oceania, it was 680 was the bar, which is,
That's
I mean, very
crazy.
high.
I think it's more points than
especially
I had.
when we
I
only
wouldn't
have
even
3
made it.
tournaments. Like, you know, Mikey Morgs, you know, played 2 and then he just had no shot. It was like, no matter if I get 260 local points, there's no universe that I can get up to 680. Like, even if you get 4th place and 4th place, like that's only 600, and then you need locals on top of that. But it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough.
yeah. So a few other changes too. This is actually pretty important too. More championship points have been allocated to some placements in the championship events. So regional and special events. Top 16 go from 160 to 200. Top 32 get from 125 to 160. And the top 65 go from 100 to 120. And for international championships, 200 to 240 for top 32, 150 to 180 for top 64, and then 120 to 140 for top 128. So I guess this probably helps more people that are kind of in the more, I think how to describe it, like upper to mid tier, right? Performance where like they're not necessarily getting like top 8 every time, but they're still consistent performing in like that top 64 to top 16 mark. Getting a few extra points there could potentially be helpful. I don't know. I think it's definitely a way to incentivize people to travel more for these events, whether they can afford to or not is a different story. But having more points at regionals and internationals kind of reduces the impact of local points. I mean, local points are still good points to have and max out on, but they don't have as much of an impact, right? If these points, regionals and internationals, award more.
I think is good for the whole, just because it's so lumpy in terms of who has access to locals and who doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I know like one of the guys, Sammy P, who in Australia was very close to qualifying. He doesn't have any access to locals because he's like sort of more rural. So like the only locals he plays were like the ones at regionals. And so like he got some local points in those, but like it just, if he had even like 180, something like that, like if he played any cups, he would have been fine and he would have qualified for Worlds. So locals is a pretty big difference maker. And I know I saw that there were, I think JJan might have had like a sheet of like players that were close to locals that like if they just grinded locals a bit more, they would have qualified. So it's very little bit contentious of it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing that locals matter a little less, to be honest.
Well, speaking of locals, they also changed how the kicker for cups and challenges work. So essentially it looks like a slight buff to challenges, but a slight nerf to cups, which makes sense because cups award a lot more points. But essentially you could...
Did they change cups?
Huh?
What did they change about
cups? So the kicker for getting points, so for example, it starts really at the 5th, or no. It starts at the 9th to 16th placement. So you need 48 players to get points from 9th to 16th in cups now, whereas before you needed 33. And then for 17 to 32, you need 80 instead of 65 now. And then, et cetera, et cetera. So they made it harder to get points at bigger cups, I guess.
I've never played in a cup that big. So
yeah, I don't think it really works
so
so much. Challenges, I think, challenges are a little bit easier now to get the kicker. So it really starts at 5 through 8, 14 for the kicker instead of 17, and then it's reduced from there on out as well too. But yeah, that's pretty much that. I mean, I think, I don't know, personally, I kind of hate that they reduce the amount of points in that challenges and cups can give you, like the total amount is like what, top 4 of each, right? Before it was what, top 8 finishes? Was it double? Was it actually
I don't
double?
quite remember.
I think it was double, or maybe it was 6, top 6. I don't know, but now it's just top 4. It's been like a year, so I've forgotten at this point. But I do think that it kind of killed the local scene a bit, because early on the season, a lot more people were showing up. Towards the end, dude, we're struggling to hit like 4 people. And I'm in like LA, which is a pretty big city compared to most, right? But just a lot of people have already capped on points. So what can you do?
I mean, we still had like travel award grinders, like at our like last local, like, you know, Rick Flair and was still rocking up to them all.
Yeah,
just for travel award grinding.
I think it depends on the region and area, because at least for NA, like that's probably not going to help your travel award compared to some of the top dogs, you know.
It highly depends, I think, on like where you are in both space and time, you know, of the year. But I do think you were right in what you said earlier, Caleb. Like, it's kind of reorienting the incentivization for traveling to regionals as opposed to staying home and doing more locals.
Yeah.
Because regionals are going to have sort of a, you know, almost guaranteed amount of participation where you know where you might be able to stand. But like now these locals are going to be a little bit harder to gauge, I think, than previously.
Yeah.
Look, I was having this conversation with Speediest Chief, and let me know your thoughts about the fact that in the championship series, we're sort of moving, by the seams of it, more and more towards wallet warrior domination, where, you know, if the people who can spend the most are in a way better, you know, way more incentivized to actually compete and whatnot, and people who can't travel as much are basically just dead on arrival. There's just like no shot. And I mean, the other games have had to deal with this for a long time, and it's already the case that, like, I know in Oceania, because in this last season, they like massively nerfed invites for the other games, like massively nerfed. And so the guys that were like, oh, look, I'm going to attend all of the regionals in Australia, but I literally can't compete with the guys that are flying over to, you know, the Brent Tennysons of the world that are traveling to a regional every second week. Like, I just literally can't compete. Worlds is sort of impossible for me. What's the point? And I sort of fear that we are going to head in that direction the more we sort of go down this road. I mean, you know, if someone can yoink one of the 10 invites in Australia by traveling to South Africa twice, I mean, that feels wrong. I don't like the system.
Yeah.
But Speedies have had the opinion of like, oh, it's been like this for the other games, but I don't know.
I mean, I would kind of agree, especially since they are also lessening how many regional tournaments there are. So you not only are you incentivized to go to them, but there's fewer of them to go to. So like, you're kind of like, well, then I have to travel if I want to, like,
qualify,
you know, actually not just qualify, but like if you're wanting to try and earn travel rewards, if you're wanting to like even just go for the prestige, like you are really put in a position where travel is the only way to do that consistently. And I mean, we see that from a lot of the top players too, because I think that that's something else that, and I don't know if we'll talk about more about this later, but that's something else that like JJ.
Let's talk about this real quick too before PJCS, because I don't want to like jump back and forth between this and PJCS. But JJ posted a really solid Worlds Tracker document. I mean, he's been doing great with just world tracking in general, but particularly with certain stat lines too. So there's like, you know, like he has really interesting stats where it's like players that like have qualified, that like, you know, like total amount of players that played like one tournament and qualified, right? Like no one, right? Like 460 players only played one tournament, didn't qualify because there's not enough points, I think, unless you win it all. Outside like the guaranteed invites, I think. But yeah, and then we have like, actually, I think that includes the guaranteed invites. I think NA, even the guaranteed invites players like played more than one. EU is different though, because there's actually 2 players that played in only one and qualified. Wait, so one is Philbeg. Who is the other one? Is it HK Assassin? No, he played in multiple. Who's the other player from Europe that only played one tournament and qualified? Icelandic Lapras? No, right?
No. He played in Gdansk.
Yeah.
as well.
Who is?
You're sure?
Well, this is what JJ's
wasn't
data says.
today's
I don't know. I'm
session?
sure we can figure it out later. But yeah. So it's kind of interesting
Let us
how
know.
that goes. Anyway, and they have like LATAM Oceania data as well too. So really cool data to check out if you want to look at it yourself. Go to JJN11P Go on X to find that. But yeah, so there's just a bunch of data points here too.
Yeah. How many tournaments are needed to qualify for Worlds? Like kind of broken down by region is what we were just talking about. And then the next one is like how many tournaments are like actually counted?
Yeah.
Like how many tournaments that went to actually like accumulated points. And then like trainers who played in more locals versus like more regionals or vice versa. And then like you mentioned earlier, trainers who like fell just short of qualifying and how their points actually like stacked up, versus going to regionals and local points.
Yeah, and they even have like qualification totals from like last year compared to this year. I actually thought NA would probably be similar, but there's 10 more total NA players going this year.
You guys got a massive buff to like the number of auto quals.
Yeah, I know, but I just because last year was like around like the cutoff was around 7. It was 75 actually on the dot last year, so I thought that this year would be similar, right? But obviously the auto qualifications takes out some of those slots, so we get more than the 75. Australia's down 3 compared to last year. Yeah. Wait, why is it? That's just because of point stuff.
It's because they reduced. Like we had more players qualify on points than they sort of set the limit at.
LATAM is a lot less, 11 less than last year. Obviously, they have 67, but LATAM was also one of the regions where you could qualify just straight off a local, so that doesn't surprise me too much. Not to say that they shouldn't send that many as last year, but it just makes sense. And then EU has 4 less. So actually, the only region that benefit from this change is NA, which I'm not surprised, but I do think that does speak volumes to why they're making adjustments for next year too, to have more from LATAM and EU. Oh, this one's really cool though. Auto invites like earned, right? So
oh my gosh, this one is absolutely like devastating.
Yeah, so Marto has
to look
5.
At, honestly.
So he took 4 additional auto invite spots from LAIC, Lima, Merida, and Santiago. Elam's probably second most auto qualifies with 3, and then everyone else pretty much has like 2 for the others. But yeah, so kind of crazy.
And it also on that same graphic, it has like the out of region invites, so you can see like players who are obviously trying to travel to earn additional like either spots or points. I don't know, but that's really interesting too. There's 6 players listed here that went in between 2 regions.
They have money earned as well, including IC Travel Awards, which is. Ooh, some of these people, man, I get why they go to a lot of tournaments if they're winning this kind of stuff. Marto had almost 25K this year. I mean, that includes a lot of travel awards too, right? So that helps a lot. Elam coming in second. Elam's pretty impressive because he has gone to way less tournaments than Marto and like Pocket at third. Nighttime Clasher. I think Nighttime, Pocket, and maybe Marto all went to the same amount. Was it 12? 13? 12 or 14.
I didn't know that Marto went to as many.
Yeah, but I looked at his Djokovic graphic. It was actually a lot too.
Yeah,
let me see if I can pull it up real quick because he posted it. I was like, wait, this looks like about as much as Pocket and Elam actually. Let me see how many he went to.
Pocket and
sorry, Pocket and Nighttime. I think he went to 1 less. He went to 6. He went to 11. So I think
the other guys had 13.
They had 13 each. Holy, that's a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Because Pockets doesn't have Puerto Rico listed yet because Djokovic hasn't updated
it. When they go update, this season's almost over.
Yo,
dude, I sent Anacor the spreadsheet to upload the South Africa
Ric
thing.
Flair
I was like, I'll
made
do
it
it myself
too.
I sent it to
I did
him.
not expect. I didn't know Ric Flair made that much.
Ric Flair's kind of killed.
Well, a lot of it was also probably travel award money too, right? Because he went to all 3.
He got every.
But I think most of these people probably got almost every travel award too. But
maybe.
I don't know.
Well,
it's a like more guaranteed in Oceania, especially with the icy ripple
Yeah,
effect.
yeah. Anyway, very interesting stats, for sure. And then, this one's really cool. The win percentage or points per tournament as well. So Elam leads the charts in every one of these categories. Most points per tournament,
God.
most battle win percentage is 71%. That's kind of crazy. Top cut 100%. Second highest is Pokémon at 86, which is also nuts. But 100% top cut is crazy. And then series win 83%. Nexus, Chasm actually at 79%, which is not who I would expect at number 2, but definitely a great player. Yeah. So I mean, I guess based on this chart, is Elam the GOAT? Because he's leading every one of these categories while attending less. I mean, I guess at the same time too, because he attends less tournaments, there's like, I don't know if it's like less chances, but like obviously if you go to like twice the amount of tournaments he does, like it's way harder to make like 13 top cuts than 6 or 8, whatever, how many Elam went to, right?
Yeah. Okay. To be fair as well, I actually think that if Marto doesn't compete in NAIC, he probably wins on battle win percent.
Yeah, because he's down by 1%.
I don't know what happens with series win percent because, like, obviously, like he got thrown in and didn't have a great performance.
Sure,
so I'm kind of wondering.
And he didn't copy the Eomero team to a T, right? Based on the last episode podcast I heard.
He messed with the formula.
Dijon is way higher than I thought. Look, he's a friend and teammate of mine, but I would not expect Dijon to be tied with his accent on battle win percentage at number. They're essentially tied for 3rd. That's crazy. When did Dijon get so good? He's tied with Z Wireless.
Dijon Axis. Yeah, I was going to say Dijon, Axon, and Z
Wait,
Wireless.
I need to
Come
check.
on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All those names make sense except for one. Look, again, no hate on Dijon, right? He's a friend of mine too. But...
What? No hate, except why are you?
I mean, okay, don't give me that. When you're looking at the list, you would also be curious why Dijon's there, right? There's no way I'm the only one thinking this. I'm sure Dijon's looking at it like, oh wait,
Dijon, I always believed in you.
I don't know. I see the source.
Oh, what happened?
It's because, like, so if you look at like Atlanta, for example,
he had a lot of 2-0s.
He loses round 1, so he's getting more loser bracket runs, which inherently means that you can actually pick up more wins against theoretically easier opponents.
I mean, I guess so, but didn't anyone else lose early too?
Yeah, but
there are a lot of people who lose early.
Yeah. But like obviously he's done well.
He does have a decent amount of 2-0s.
Losing round 1 and then getting to top 16 is still crazy. Let's make that clear. But
how did he lose round 1? He just it shows that
he no-showed it. Yeah,
he no-showed.
I don't know if it was like
it's so weird.
It looks like it.
I remember he did something funky in Atlanta. Oh, he just took the loss because he misregistered his team twice. I think that's what it was.
Oh
yeah. He misregistered his team in 2 different ways.
Right.
In Atlanta,
wow. Bold.
Yeah, wild stuff. Wild, interesting data for sure. A couple Jumati actually being the leader in a decent amount of points categories for Oceania is pretty big. Anyway,
you can really see it because it's colored in red.
Yeah,
it's like, what are these guys doing here?
Yeah.
Well, it's color coded by region.
Yeah.
He's like the only Oceania
JJ's
player
like,
on this
everything else is a pastel color, but these Oceania people will just give them like a harsher color because that's what it is.
Listen, they need all the help they can get since they're not.
I got Chungus here.
Chung.
She doesn't complain as much. She does complain a little bit, but it's a little bit quieter. So hopefully not distracted. All right, let's go into PJCS because we've been talking about this stuff for a hot minute instead. And I know PJCS had some action here. Do you want to take this, Steve? Because I know you were streaming it. I think Steve streamed a little bit as well too, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, not a convenient time for anyone except APAC players. So finally, we get one that's actually really convenient to watch, which was nice because it is pretty rare. But yeah, PJCS, the final official tournament before World Championships. So all eyes are on Japan to see whether they would sort of just reuse the same meta as NAIC or if they would do what Japan does. And they did indeed do what Japan does and run some wacky Pokemon that seem to keep succeeding. I mean, like the start of the stream, the first 2 streamed matches literally both had Claydol. And I was like, what are we doing? I could have sworn Claydol was dead.
Did lose to one,
But
GBI.
it was yeah. For those that aren't familiar, it was 6 rounds of Swiss, and then from the Swiss top 16 players all qualify for Worlds, and then the top 8 players keep playing in a single elimination bracket to sort of become the champion and get travel award. So it's sort of like, the fact that you can just play in 6 rounds of Swiss and that's good and you're dunsies is nice. But you had to go 5-1 essentially. There is one player, like the best player that went 4-2, like on tiebreaker, also qualified.
Who was that?
But otherwise 5-1. It was whoever came 16th.
Dude, Pokemon Moneymaker's been on fire though. Talk about guaranteed impact.
Oh yeah. Oh, Pokemon Moneymaker sort of, I guess, potentially, we don't know for certain, but we're assuming that he did burn the auto qualification basically, by winning Melbourne and getting top 16 at PJCS.
You're saying he did burn it?
Yep.
We're assuming,
yeah,
so.
because
technically it's not confirmed.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't think they never specified how the cascading works for that, right? Or did they? I think they did. No, they didn't. They just specify how you could auto qualify from out of TPC region if you're in TPC.
Yeah. The assumption is that it doesn't mess with.
I mean, that would
what's
make
going
sense.
on in Japan.
It kind of sucks though, but it kind of is in line with everything else.
Yeah, unfortunately.
There was
well, in Japan they got physically given, like when they qualified, they got given this like qualified little badge, like on the spot, which was kind of sick. Instead of like a equivalent to their competitor badge, but it was just said qualified. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty nice.
But yeah, look, end of the day, it was also sort of weird. It's very similar to how VG and TCG work. So you get this top 8, right? There's 3 players that are undefeated. First round, 2 of the undefeated players get knocked out. GG's, you're top 8. Like the other guys might have lost less than you, or lost more than you, but too bad, you're still at top 8. So downsides of single elim, I guess, but they're qualified for Worlds, so it doesn't matter that much, I guess you could argue.
Yeah.
Like even the last year's Japan champion Kai-san, he managed to get to top 8, and then I think undefeated, and then got knocked out first round of single elim. So,
yeah, that's a tough part. But that unfortunately, I mean, that only really impacts like one person every tournament, right? So
yeah, I guess. But in the end, we had a grand finals of I think 12 unique Pokemon, which is 11 unique. Oh no, they both had Mandibuzz and Credilli. But the elements of NAIC were very present because there was a lot of Shadow Sizzle, including the winning team from Salted Koji.
6 out of top 8.
Who was, he was one of the Salted Koji was one of the 3 that was undefeated going in, so he literally never dropped a set through the entire tournament.
Wait, he didn't even lose. Oh no, there was 2 people that are 6 and. Oh no, there were 3 people that are 6 and
3. Yeah, in the Swiss rounds, they run 1 round less.
Yeah, because it's not a true Swiss. I feel like a true Swiss would have 7 rounds here because there only could be one person undefeated in a true Swiss. So, but my guess is they just, no matter what, they're just going to do 6 rounds and just grab the top 8 players, right? Wait, no, is it top?
Tristan said they just ran 1 short of even last year, they ran 1 Swiss round short of what would be normal for a full Swiss tournament.
I guess it's a timing thing, but.
Maybe, but also at some point it also doesn't matter a little bit in we're gonna grab the top 8 players at anyway, who cares, whatever.
I think it actually does matter in a sense because it makes it even harder for you to make that top cut if you lost round 1, right? Because every opponent you face is harder. Okay, so my guess is the one person that went 4-2 that made it did not lose until later. Anyone that lost in round 1 or 2 and also went 4-2 probably could not have made it unless the tiebreakers really went crazy lucky in your favor. So
you're probably right.
So I mean, again, it is not to say that if there was another round they would have made it or whatever, but because there's 1 less short than what a probably true Swiss bracket would have been, where you only have potentially 1 person undefeated or maybe not even, then I don't know. Anyway, it is what it is. How they ran it is how they ran it, but this does unfortunately negatively impact anyone that lost early. Which you can always say, hey, maybe that's the player's own fault. They should just won early, and I mean, you can make that argument, right? that is fair too. But this is Swiss without seeding, right? So there's a chance they also paired up against Pokemon Moneymaker round 1, and I mean, are they better than Pokemon Moneymaker? Maybe not, but maybe they still could have made it to Worlds because they're better than a bunch of other people at the bottom part of that bracket, but.
Yeah. Well, like, like round one,
Yeah.
maybe you face Pokemon Maker. Oops, okay, we lose, that's fine. But then maybe you're up against like Kento Sorunori, who ended up coming second in this tournament. He went 5-1. So even if he lost round one, he won the rest, so like whatever. But maybe like, he loses round one, and so then you have to face him round two. So like it's entirely feasible that you could play the top two players in the tournament, round one, round two, and then you're like, well, heck, what do we do now?
I mean,
We're already in a lot of
that is definitely one of the I mean, there's pros and cons to Swiss for sure, right? And I think majority of Go players at this point want Swiss, but these are always things to consider. But I mean, I think at the end of the day too,
But
like
also-
the best part for the TPCI regions is you have multiple chances, even if regardless of Swiss or not.
Yeah. See, I was gonna say, like, yes, I do think the feeling on like social media seems to be that we should have Swiss. But Swiss in other regions outside of this, like where they only get one shot, would also potentially have seeding, so you wouldn't have as much of an issue with like the pairings like you were just talking about.
I mean, well, like, I guess you also have to factor in, to be fair, if you go 4-2 in a like double elim tournament, you're also out. Like, you're the one guy that went 4-2 and got into a world's qualification is sort of like, he must be stoked. He's like, well, we slipped on it anyway. We would have lost in double elim, but it worked out fine. But
yeah.
Anyway, like it was a cool tournament to watch. I mean, you saw things like Lantern the Fish came in third, which is, I don't know where that came from, but there were a few running
here
around
too. Were they even allowed to use clanging scales? Because I know TPC.
I think it was yes.
Right?
So it sounds like their rules are different. Yeah. Although I don't think Homo O was ever on stream. I don't think, which is kind of sad.
Yeah. But still, qualifying for Worlds with Homo on the team is kind of crazy. That team looks a lot like Padawan's team, actually. Now I think about it, outside the Como and some other stuff. Actually, probably looks more like Zwice's team with the Greninja, Marowak, and Scizor. No,
in a way, I guess. But I guess Salted Koji's full team was the Shadow Scizor, Unovan Stunfisk, Azumarill, Credilli, Mandibuzz, and regular.
Azumarill picks up another tournament win. What the heck? This thing never going extinct.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like doesn't matter what GPL season, if Arceus Aurelius made this bet like in any season, he probably loses it no matter what. Dude, imagine if he did it for this season and the very last. Oh, I guess it's not the very last tournament. It's actually no. This is one of the first tournaments. This is the second tournament of the season. Actually, now think about it.
Yeah.
Although it would have been very funny for him to make the call of like, there's only 3 tournaments. Like, I've got a decent shot.
Oh my God. Something I think that you might have pointed out was that like this is only the second tournament that we've had any visibility for in this meta, and across the 2 winners, Salted Koji and Itzaxen, we had 12 unique Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think.
Obviously,
insane.
PJCS meta might be slightly different, but I think at this point too, like these players are probably tuning into NAIC and seeing stuff and playing. I've seen like a lot of these Japanese players in like inadequate practice tournaments too, right? So like,
if they tuned into NAIC and they saw all that Dedenne, they certainly did not show it.
Yeah, there's not one in the top 8.
Not one. Not a
all the
single
Scizor
one.
They're scared of, dude. They saw Potamon boosting and they're like, dude, I could do that too. Let me get on that boost train.
They did take the Dusclops note though.
Yeah. Oh, Dusclops is pretty nutty. There's actually not a lot of Diggersby. There's one. That's actually kind of crazy to me.
Just one.
That's actually really wild to me. There's
2 of the Unovan Stunfisk though.
Kind of nuts. But I guess they're just. I mean, I think it's a good call by them because they're expecting a lot of Shadow Scizor. But maybe that's why the Azumarill shined. Maybe that was it. Okay. Well, that's gonna be that for PJCS. There's no more other tournaments, right? We can talk about this because it's part of the T topic too. But what's this thing with Korea's circuit? Because they already have their Worlds qualifications, right? But I saw Goji tweeted something about this.
It's not for Worlds.
Oh, it's not for Worlds. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What is it specifically for? Do you know? It's just like some type of tournament hosted in Korea.
I know Tristan told us a bit. To be honest with you, I'm blanking. Once I was like, oh wait, it's not for Worlds. I was like, oh, okay.
I just know that. Yeah,
I feel like it's just for funsies. I think it's just for funsies.
Okay. I thought it was
and like money and stuff.
And I think it seems to be the concern is that like they're using
GBL
Go Battle
win rate,
League win rates to, do invites
Yeah,
to
yeah.
it, which like seems kind of like fundamentally
Yeah, so
flawed.
for those that don't know, the general gist is there's some tournament hosted in South Korea, and to be able to even attend it, you need it's like top GBL win percentage of the players interested, right? And right when they plays a lot of GBL, it's hard to maintain a really high win percentage, especially if you play a lot of GBL games, right? So if you play just like 5 games, like a few weeks into the season, you're probably gonna have a higher win rate than like players that are like already legend, right? So it's not really a great determining factor, I guess.
It's a very bad determining factor, I would argue.
Look,
I would go
Well,
as far
because
as to say.
it's certainly one that could be overly manipulated if you knew that it like, oh, if I need a higher win rate, then like Caleb was just saying, it's like, well, I just start a little
yeah,
bit later.
and the thing is also it's not great even if you knew ahead of time, because even if you know ahead of time, it's kind of weird too. Because like, what are you going to do? Just tank your like just not play any Go Battle League just for this tournament and do a few and then just like like it just disincentivizes you from playing the game, right?
Correct.
So it's
that is exactly right.
It's not really the best metric. I mean, hopefully they're taking the feedback well. I don't know though, but
yeah.
But yeah. So
I don't know. Seems pretty silly.
Yeah.
It is also like their only stream in South Korea as well, where like obviously the like official championship series tournament was not streamed. Mm-hmm. This one will be. Yeah. So this is sort of the only thing that actually shows off Korea.
That's probably why they wanted to like so many trainers signed on to the letter in the first place. They're like, if this is going to be our only visibility, like we want it to be more fair. And I don't think that's too much to ask for.
Yeah. I mean, if you're just showing off like, you're cutting out all of the top plays, like you're ditching all of the Elams and the Axons and like they're hard out because they've played too much Go Battle League, and then you just end up with like the PvP Steves who barely touched the game and just happen to have like had a slightly lucky run and then stopped playing. If you're having those guys on instead, it's gonna be a worse show of talent. So it's like I don't know, man. It seems kind of bunk, but
a little bit.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Yeah.
You can tell the organizers, give them feedback, and hope they listen. That's about it.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes. Excuse me. All right. Let's take a look at YouTube comments because I feel like we're pretty much wrapping up on that front. Unless you all have anything else you want to discuss. But I think we're pretty much at that.
Nah, we can do YouTube comments. We've got to catch up on the previous one as well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like we've been avoiding it for a while.
Yeah. I don't think there were any new comments on the one before that one, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll just double check just in case. I think it's the one where I transfer Bassi. Okay, yeah. All right, so let's take a look at episode 206, Cat Pokemon vs. Dog Pokemon, who wins?
Oh yeah, this was one when I wasn't there and I was asking you guys like what you talked about for the thumbnail, and then I just saw the cat versus dog robot.
I forgot to throw the actual picture into the YouTube thing, but I just dropped the Reddit link in the description. So for those that are very curious, Michael St. Smith says, "Hi, Battle Cats. Regarding the present Go Pass Deluxe, the biggest grievance is that in the test stage, you would receive an additional level 15 legendary in the deluxe path as well as the trinket. Replacing it with an egg incubator does not compensate at all for the $10 you're paying. Great show as always, everyone." And then Bortza says the legendary was on the free path, not the deluxe path.
So, no. I think Boardstiff is
talking about the
mistaken.
recent one. Yeah.
Previously, you could get 2.
Yeah. So Michael St. Smith was probably part of the test groups, right? Test group regions is probably what I'm gathering. Yeah. Also, Michael St. Smith says, just a small addition to my previous comment. To my enormous disappointment, I discovered today that the legendary article is level 20. Background's nice, but not worth the effort. Yeah, that's I don't know. I think it's too late now to scale everything back to level 20 for obvious reasons. For one, disappointment from player base, and obviously not discussing that, right? And before people buy it is a big issue. And two, like you could say, oh, well, level 15 legendaries aren't as accessible, especially for PvP, so we want to limit that. I think that's fair, but because you already released it, it makes it even less accessible now. You already open Pandora's box. You can't close it, right? I think you just need to release more things at level 15 rather than less. That just my take, though. Scopely, you can do with it however you like.
I agree.
And the board
just the Pokemon that already exist. Like, even if they never increase like if they don't release any new legendaries level 15, just the ones that are already out there. So
Like if Giratina Origin comes back out in research tasks or whatever, you should research encounters. It should not be level 20 because that thing was super rare already. Making it more rare is like, I mean, Inadequate's almost won Worlds with it. He got second place at Worlds with that thing. Like, it's not. And he won a regional with it too. It's not like a joke Pokemon. Like, it actually is good. I mean, he's good too, but it's. I mean, he wasn't getting second place at Worlds with Rayquaza, right? Like, it's a different story. Borsif says $20 for the $20. All right. Okay, and then going to our last episode's comments, probably a little bit less here because we obviously just posted this literally a day ago. My fault there. AJPZ dropped 3 hearts. This is a comment that I left because I was listening to the podcast and I didn't want to forget it when we came here. But because you were talking about the different IC champions and stuff, and I get it. Without the steel trap on the podcast, it's easy to forget these things. But I said regarding 2-time IC champions, Wadaj and Emiwedo did both win their respective ones in 2022 in the seniors division. I think Emiwedo had 0 competition, so he competed in the Masters UIC as well, and it was also his first ever tournament. But of course, if he's the only one at USC for seniors, he's going to get that win. He still has a trophy from that too, to my knowledge, which is kind of nice because he probably got the prize money and everything too. So probably I understand why they got rid of seniors division, but they made some profits while they could. Wadaj won NAIC 2022 seniors, and to my knowledge, he had at least 3 other opponents. I think Khaleesi, Fitzy, and Out of Pocket being 2 of them, but still not like a very huge crowd. Still, I mean, those are still 2 really great players that he had to face, and there was a 4th player, I think 4 or 5, I don't know, but there wasn't a lot. And I said both great players, but I think most would consider those easier runs than the Masters ICs. Senior Worlds 2022 was legit competition though, with many of the players in the field becoming eventual regional and IC champions in Masters in subsequent years. So to answer your question or your conversation from last time, there are technically, outside of its accent, there are technically 2 other 2-time IC winners, but they were in the seniors division.
Technically.
Which again does speak to the quality of like the seniors division in general. It like that they've gone on to win 2 of like the barely any ICs that we've had in Masters.
Yeah. They're like, oh well, if you thought this was easy in seniors, we could do it in Masters, right? With higher competition, and and
they were like,
and I mean, and again, like you can say that competition was, or like it's just a way smaller field, and yes, Senior Worlds wasn't a big field either. But if you look at the roster of people that played in Senior Worlds, it's kind of crazy. That honestly,
wait, that's all of the seniors IC winners because there was no LAIC, there was no OCIC. So like 100% of the players that won a seniors IC went on to win a Masters IC anyway.
Exactly. So
wow.
What? Like it's hard? The children.
One day I'm going to forget all these random stat lines, but not today. All right, Joe Carbone. Last comment says, as a third.
This is Jiraka.
Oh, this is Jiraka.
For the record. Yeah.
As the third Araquanid user, I made the pick late Thursday nights. I heard about Doom bringing it, tested it, then decided I could run it with Bug Buzz Bubble Beam because it could beat Shadow Dusclops in the evens if it's high ranked.
Mistake.
Again, I wish you the best of luck next time.
You're really not carpooling again, huh? Is what I'm gathering. Let me see if
I told him when he was like trying to sass me earlier today. I was like, I hope you enjoyed today's roast, Jiraka.
Well, now that's a great way to get another viewer for the podcast. You'd be like, oh, we're gonna talk smack about you. So if you want to find out what we say, here's a link, by the way. Yeah,
we should just like target people every episode because I know like the time that we talked about Ryblett's Devon World Champion run, he was like, oh, I guess I got to watch the episode now. And I was like, all right, in you come. So that's just every episode we'll just pick someone to tag. And then we can rope them in one by one.
Yeah.
true.
It's a very
true.
guerrilla tactics way to grow the audience.
No, because what Jaraka did was like he messaged me like in our DMs. He messaged me a screenshot of his conversation with Team Magma Tyler and Staffordshire because they called him out on it, and giving me sass, and then he gave me sass, and then he went into our local server and was like, "Here's the clip of Kaz being wrong about me," and I was like, "Well, okay." I was like, all right, here we go. And then all the Atlanta locals were like, I'm grabbing popcorn.
Grudge match right here.
Because I literally was like, well, I hope you all enjoy today's Roast Jaraka segment that we're recording.
Okay, we got some Jen comments to catch up on. This was from a month ago, the Crown Summer episode. I don't know if we talked about this or not, but she said, stupidly grinning in the airport on my way to Bird's Bessie Vacay with Kaz in reaction to the PB Jen's section. Y'all are great. What's PB stand for?
Podbean.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Because,
I was like,
because we have our Podbean Jen segment is what we're into
Podbean
now.
Jen segment. Here we go. All right.
Because she posted that right before, because we went on a week-long trip to North Carolina, right? That was one of the instances that I wasn't recording, and she listened to the episode before she was coming to meet me,
just to make sure she's caught up on the time.
Yeah.
Jen also said in the following episode, standing with Kaz right now, and she's doing a dance regarding Josh's spectator pass going to her. Wait, but we didn't see that.
Yeah,
can you recreate the dance real quick for everyone?
I think I was like making an omelet or pancakes or something, or maybe we were making some kind of dessert. I don't know. We were in the kitchen, and I was like,
see, great reason to watch the YouTube version if you haven't yet.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're listening to this, then I'm gonna need you to tune in and see my dumb dance, because
it's solid.
Know the timestamp.
And then, all right, and then two other comments from Jen in the 205th episode. Tangents, and then she also says, might vote Frillish / Jelson for shiny needs. I already have 2 out of 3 Rookity from Scarlet Violet farming. Wait, she has
too bad.
2 out of 3. What do you mean? Like she has shiny Rookity?
Okay, well, because she doesn't really collect shinies in Go, except to send them to Pokemon
so she has
Home.
2 shinies in Rookity in Scarlet Violet, right?
So she already has Rookity shinies from SV in her home account, and that's all she cares about. So she's like, I'm good.
Well, hate to break it to you, Jen, but that was a hard voting task for.
Yeah, I never even saw the results. Like, what were the actual numbers? Did they share them?
They're public on YouTube.
Like percentages?
It was like 80 something, like high 80s.
Yeah.
Let me check, because it's just on youtube.com/Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jen. The rest of us collect things in Go, so so we want those Rookity, and we also want them on stream in Play Pokemon Regionals. So
they actually post so much stuff on their posts tab. Like they just use it as a Twitter. Okay, it was 77% Rookity, 12% Wimpod, 6% Frillish, 5% Lechonk.
Ooh,
I voted
poor
for Lechonk.
You and G Meister from the Dragon's Den server.
I knew it didn't matter.
Anyway,
for the record, Rookity is my first choice, but I also
it's everyone's first choice.
I kind of do want the Jellicents also, because despite how many events they've been in, I have not gotten a shiny.
And it's pretty PvP relevant, right, in many respects. So it could be something that you actually use quite a bit of. So
Mittens, get out of here.
Mittens just be. Goodness. My cat's climbing all over. Both my cats climbing over my desk, so I get it.
He was flying in my lap, and now all of a sudden he is determined that's not good enough.
Okay, well, stay tuned for future episodes. I know last year around this time we did kind of a recap of but top players to kind of watch out for, or look out, or not look out for, I guess, but notable trainers going to Worlds from each region. So we'll probably do some type of recap like that in the coming weeks, because obviously we don't have any actual tournaments left until Worlds. And then, this is nice. I mean, I guess we could tease this at this point. We have what's this like a cat thing floating around Steve's camera? What is happening?
Steve's creating his own
my
cat.
was just, I was getting up on the screen and whatnot. Sorry, guys.
That's actually hilarious.
Steve is starting to get worried that he's not going to be on the Battle Cats much longer if he doesn't have a cat.
I'm starting to wonder if we're going to realize.
So we have we're going to do a draft, a Worlds draft, just like last year we did with Butters. But this time around, we're going to invite not every, because we can't really fit everyone on this podcast, but we're going to invite like a lot of the other Go PvP podcast hosts from other podcasts to be a part of it. Because then, these draft pool is going to go pretty deep at a certain point, right? Because if everyone has 10 picks and, there's like 10 people on this podcast, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I'll just put it that way. It's going to be pretty wild. But I think as long as we have an organized system on how to do it, it could be good. And we could revisit how we all did after the fact, too. I'm just curious if Tristan actually does something. I also have a surprise for everyone for that segment that these two don't even know about, nor Tristan. So you will.
I'm not sure I like that.
No, it won't.
Last time.
Wait, what happened last time? Oh, yeah, the beans.
The beans.
Yeah, well, you knew ahead of time though. You still have them? Yeah.
Yeah, I actually do.
Mine too.
I meant to bring them up to my niece and nephew in Tennessee, Joe's sister's kids, but I keep forgetting.
I used to give it to my friends whenever they lose board games against me too, because I was like, I don't want you these.
Don't give Jen any ideas because she always wins.
Oh well, I'm not gonna play Jen in a board game, but I was playing like some of my other friends and stuff, and
yeah, but I'm gonna play Jen in board games.
Oh well, I mean, just don't bring the jelly beans. I don't know what else to say. I mean,
sorry,
clearly not losing is not an option here against Jen. So if you're gonna lose, don't bring the jelly beans or don't make a bet with her on that. But this surprise, no, it's not like a bad thing. If anything, it's potentially bad for me, but or someone else, but not any of you.
I'm deeply suspicious.
Just be on the lookout because you'll probably forget it, and then when it actually happens, then you're like, oh. Anyway, I'm speaking very in just like weird, like nebulous terms for no reason. No one knows. But anyway, just be on the lookout for a draft. We'll see how it goes. I know. I think Loud Jeffs and Co made a draft for NAIC. And
it didn't go well for most of them.
Well, because there were a ton of upsets at NEIC. It was actually kind of crazy. Yeah. There was a result, though. I think PvP David actually won it all. He had Zwiles as his first pick, which is a good one. Who had Axon? Oh, Axon was on Loud Jeff's team. But I think the rest of his squad didn't do. I mean, everyone won points, right? But some of them didn't do as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But it is what it is. Anyway, so we'll do our own type of little draft as well and see how it goes. Oh man, Tom Hogg's top 2 picks, none of them got points. That's actually really unfortunate.
Out of pocket and Canard.
Yeah, he's still. I was gonna say he still did decent, but no, he got second to last. But that's a tough one. That's a tough one. It's hard to predict, right? Especially with the upsets. Like Pocket and Kanan are both great players, but I mean, if Marco Galde can get knocked out, anyone really can, right?
I mean, he wasn't even supposed to be competing, so
true. Yeah, true. I guess the safest bet, according to JJ's data, is Elam. Well, I know who my first pick is for this draft. The chance of me getting it out of like 10 other people is kind of a hard one. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah. You're making a lot of assumptions about who's gonna be picking.
Well,
first.
I think Tristan picked first last time, and his like first 3 picks got him nothing.
We did something to determine the order.
We just did like a random number generator, I think. For that, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, but, yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, speaking of bets, I do think I have some reconciliation to perform.
Oh wait, what do you mean? Oh yes, the shiny thing, dude. I will say. I barely caught any because I was so lazy. I didn't play the event much at all.
I played for 2 out of the 3 hours, so I think that qualifies for deleting 75%.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But I caught 16, so I'd have to delete 12.
Sorry, my math.
That's a pretty solid buffer.
Not too bad. I mean,
well, I set up.
We have December.
Listen, I told y'all this weekend I hard crashed. My body was like, if you do not rest right now, I will make you. But like I knew I had to catch a certain amount so that I could at least keep 3 for the family, and I met my threshold. That's all I cared about. So 12 is what I owe.
Yes.
Yep. I actually also played quite a bit, but that was mostly because I was like, oh, well, just in case it's going to be good for Worlds, I'd better.
Well, I did lose to one GBL yesterday because I thought clanging scales was a fighting move. I thought it was like a better close combat, which is it technically is, but it's not the same typing. I thought it was, so I was just like, so I just came into a clanging scales with my Shadow Nightlight. I was like, I ain't gonna shield this. Like, what? This is going to get a Dragon Claw, right? Like, no way. I think I got one shot from clanging scales. That's from Zimmy Kid. GG's.
Well, it did hit top 8 at PJCS apparently. Not that we'll see the battles, but
yeah,
it was there.
It's I mean, I think in the right situation it could be good, right? Like it's like really good and safe into everything, but like air / mana buzz and fairies, right?
I mean, I guess the Deno does pretty
I don't know.
well
I tried playing with it a bunch in GBL and like I didn't love it, but I think that the people I was facing also just like I was not seeing a lot of things that I expected to see. I don't know where I am in the rankings right now because I'm still haven't.
Well,
I've not been playing as much this season.
I tell you about Zimmy Kid's team so you could like maybe steal his if you need ideas, but I don't think I got past the second Pokemon, so I don't actually know what it is. It was like a Como.
Oh my god, I have to delete these individually. I can't even group transfer. Oh man.
I know an Inadequate's posted like a graphic with some
Como teams.
Teams.
We're taking a look at. Wait, so can we show the 16?
I mean, yeah. This is like
okay. I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. These are all my shiny dragon babies, but I have to delete them individually. I can't.
Delete them individually while I grill Steve on a potential Slowpoke onesie wager for Worlds. Okay. Would you be down for the idea I proposed earlier, where you and Tristan battle me and Kaz? And like, or it could be 3 battles, 5 battles, blinds. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's essentially show 5, pick 3, right? Because it's going to be Slowpoke and then the 4 subsequent evolutions, right?
Do we? I assumed that it would just be like you could use infinite Pokemon essentially, but
but you have to have a Slowpoke on the squad.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I was imagining.
Wait.
That's a more interesting, creative way to do it, and it would just make not be just a bunch of Slowpoke mirrors. So would that be blind then?
Yeah, I was imagining like essentially GBL strats.
Okay,
but like you just have to have something slow in the line.
Okay,
of 3.
I think that could be fun. Every time. We should record it.
Oh yeah,
and then post it as well. But I think that could be pretty fun.
All right, there's my 4 remaining Jangmos.
Last time I only had to transfer 1 shiny.
I know, you and Tristan were like, well, I only caught 2, so I guess 1.
You know what we could do? We could record these battles on the podcast because then we could react to it live, and then we'll have
that might be long. Like,
what do you mean? This is long. Our episodes are like 2 hours each. What do you mean?
Well, I guess it would be. Like audio wise, it would be a terrible episode because it would go for a very long time.
Well, no. What we would do is so I think this is a great way to do it. Oh, this could be really fun actually. So let's say if you battle me first, right? You screen share your POV, and then I'll probably just I don't know if you screen share or I'll screen share and I'll record it or something. I don't know. We had to do some way where you can save the actual battle footage too, right? Because if you screen share on Discord, then we can't really see it unless you like have mirroring.
We can record it in OBS at the same time.
Yeah. Something like that. Anyway, and then while you're screen sharing it, because Kaz and Tristan aren't playing, they could commentate the battle.
Yeah, I'm with you, but it's still like I don't know how well Pokemon Go translates to radio.
Maybe I don't know. Don't people listen to sports on radio too?
Yeah, they do, but it's a much slower game, right? So I don't know.
I will say
maybe we do a separate video segment with that instead.
Yeah. One regional that Sushi and I went to, we did have to leave before the finals, and we were listening. Via I was playing it on YouTube, but had the screen off, and we were listening to the audio just coming through my phone, and it was actually quite interesting to kind of like listen to what the casters were saying and kind of like see it. You know, it very much is like sportscasting. You know, when
maybe we'll let people
and-
drop their thoughts down below in the comments and see if they want. We could make a separate video of it or include it in an episode podcast.
Yeah, because I mean, the other alternative is we could just record it separately, and you could do editing to like.
Oh,
but
I think the fun part is you all reacting to the actual battles live, right? Because if you watch it back,
well, yeah.
Because then we would record your reaction.
We'd record it. What I'm saying is, you record it kind of separately from the podcast.
Yeah, but no, I get what you're saying. Like, but if we record it separately and we bring it back in the podcast, how's that different than just recording it during the podcast too? Isn't it the same?
I mean, it is, but I also like, I don't know. It might. From my perspective, I think it might make it easier, like to just edit it in rather than like, I don't know, have it sort of interjected in the middle of all the regular podcasts.
Yeah, that's fair.
Look, I'm a hard doomer on it being in like in like an otherwise episode. I think it would have to be its own little upload.
Okay.
I think that's probably the safer bet.
Yeah.
See, like you were correct.
Okay, we'll think it through. Maybe what we could also do is once I edit it, I could like publish it and give it to Steve and myself, and then we'll just upload it on our own channels and be like, hey, if you want to know why, listen to our podcast episode. Because there's a lot of people that subscribe to me that don't listen to the podcast, right? Maybe a good way.
That's true.
Okay, one thing about it. Anyway, logistics aside, let's see that 4 remaining Coma O that you got, or Jangba O.
Yeah. There they are.
Well
the poor
done.
babes, all alone.
Well, do you get any good?
Should have bet on
IV
the
spreads?
safe bet for June Com Day. That's
I did name, like I did go through and I named the ones that were better for PvP and
I didn't involve
Ultra
anyone
League
yet.
and stuff.
We have until a week from now, right? Or a week from the event.
I think you have you have 2 more days.
You should do it like immediately.
Yeah, Caleb, if I know you, you should probably just evolve them right now. But, you do. My game currently says I have 3 days and 4 hours.
Okay. Well, I will be sure to do that right after this.
Caleb?
But I'm not making any promises on transferring any future Bastion stuff. I did actually make another one recently.
A new XL.
Yeah, it's fully made already. That's a lot of Stardust that I obviously didn't get from star piecing GBL for a year either. So definitely, not great. But yeah, I will say I've been running in GBL. It's kind of disgusting. Dude, I caught like so many hard win leads with it. It's kind of nuts how good it still is in GBL. But stay tuned.
Is it back for Worlds?
Probably not. It's really hard to show 6.
We'll never know because he's casting, not coming.
Well, I mean, I don't have to be the one, dude. The Aussies love Bastion down under right there. Like Steve,
well, don't ask Josh.
This is a win-win situation, Steve, because if you show up to Worlds and someone looks at your team sheet and they think I'm you again for some reason, they won't be like, no Basti? Like, oh, there's the Basti again.
Like, oh, obviously.
So they won't be disappointed either way. I won't disappoint people, and you won't be disappointing people on my behalf.
Yeah, Caleb, I might ruin your rep. It's like, oh, he was so rude to me. I hate that Caleb Peng guy. He's the worst.
Yeah, I've definitely been in those situations in my life, like outside of this ghost stuff, where they're like, oh, like I heard you said this or something to this person. I was like, dude, I wasn't even at that event. Like, who are you talking about? Like, it wasn't me.
It was me every time. Anytime that's ever happened to you, Caleb,
that's happened to me before.
There.
Like in my day-to-day life, to be like, oh, you were really rude to me. You said this and that. I was like, wait, what? I was like, what did I say? And they'll be like, oh, I think you meant it as a joke. I was like, what did I say that was a joke that offended you, right? Like, just let me know. And then they just like brushed it off. I was like, dude, what are we complaining about? Actually, someone did that on my YouTube comments the other day. I was talking about in one of my GBL videos, I was talking about how I don't top left and tank, right? Like, it's just not my thing. Like, I get it. If you do it, you do it, right? But I'll just sit in queue times, or if I'm losing, like, I'm just losing. It's not because I'm purposely trying to lose. I just play poorly, whatever. I'll play. Someone comments and my YouTube comment, they're like, LOL, look at you, like, talking about how you don't tank. Well, that's not what you did when you top lefted with your, Puchiana or something. I was like, huh? I literally responded, I was like, when was this? Within an hour, they deleted the comment. I was like, What are you trying to do? Like, I don't understand what you're trying to like. You're trying to rile me up. I'm just confused. Is all right. I'm not riled up because I know I didn't do it, so I'm just confused. But people are weird sometimes, honestly. Also, speaking of weird too, this is my final tangent, final thing. Another YouTube comment on one of my YouTube shorts. Like, LOL. This. Let me just read exactly what it was because it's actually like I legitimately don't even understand like why they even said this. Because it's not what I would expect someone to try to like give me crap for. But okay, so they said, wait, hold on. All right, so the comment said, oh, wait, don't tell me. Oh,
He's searching.
what?
Did they delete it again?
There's no way. Oh wait, no, never mind. It's a different video.
I was gonna say Caleb has ghosts leaving comments.
He's just making up comments at this
haunted
pretending.
YouTube.
Yeah, okay.
He wanted so bad to be the victim that he
for the content.
Invented.
All right, here it is. They said AI voiceover laughing emoji. I was like, what do you mean? That's my actual voice. Like, it was my actual voice. Why do you think
in ChatGPT?
Yeah, why would I AI voice it over? Someone even like the comments, probably themselves. And then someone responded after like, bro, this generation is so brain rotted. They think everything sounds like AI. Dude, I was like, why would I not just use my own voice in my video? Like, it's me. Like, just because there's no video of me talking. Like, why? Oh, AI, please make a voice generated of this statement, but make it sound like Caleb Peng. How about I just do it myself?
AI ChatGPT would be like,
I'm like some like famous like individual. I'm not like Pedro Pascal, where there's just like documents of my voice everywhere that they could easily draw from. They'd be like
only 206 episodes, I guess.
I think it's because sometimes AI is not really like I see like Dialab Churn adding Gronk like every single day about like who's the best player from Canada that's Asian stuff or whatever, all these like random things, and like Gronk kind of doesn't know what the heck they're talking about sometimes. I was like, you're not that intelligent if you like this. Gronk has clearly not scoured the entire internet. I think it maybe scoured all of X, but even all of X, like you should the stuff Gronk's saying is like doesn't actually make as much sense. Sometimes it's impressive, but sometimes, I mean, Pokemon Go is a smaller esport. I'm just surprised.
I don't think there's as much material for it to draw from, honestly, as there is with some other things.
I guess not. Anyway, we have tangented all over the place, but what's new? So we will catch you all next week, and drop any suggestions down below if we're to do this Slowpoke evolution battle, how to do it, and if we should include it in the podcast or have it as a separate segment. We can figure it out. But I think it'll be a fun time. Obviously, if Tristan's not even down for it, then this is a lot of talk for nothing. But I think it could be fun, though, to have another usage of the Slowpoke onesie because, why not? Why not?
We got to share it as much as possible.
Yeah.
It's one size fits all.
Exactly.
It's not one size fits
for a reason.
Yeah. I did hear about your thigh gap comment, how far down it goes. So that's pretty funny. All right. Anyway, that's gonna do it for us. Thanks all for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace out.